What up, and welcome to the MLB Game of the Week pregame show presented by State Farm. You see the Bay Area just stunting on us right now. The Golden Gate Bridge and now Oracle Park. The site of today's MLB Game of the Week live on YouTube. Milwaukee Brewers and San Francisco Giants finishing up a 4-game series. The crew getting loose. They've improved to 82-52. Winners of 4 in a row. They handed the Giants a 4th straight loss that ties a season high. Bill Ripken, Stephen Nelson here in Studio 42 in Secaucus. Rip, how we feeling?
We're feeling good.
I love Oracle Park. I would say that's in my top 5
It's a nice yard.
It's a great yard, and it's a great day for a ball game and a great day to turn things around if you're a fan of the San Francisco Giants. It's been a great season, to be sure.
Yeah.
But they wake up for the first time in a long time, and they're not in first place anymore. It's not really because anything they've done wrong. The Dodgers have just been that good behind them.
Well, that's a problem that you're facing when you're in the NL West right now, is you knew going into the season the Dodgers have a very talented roster.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, they went out there and got Mad Max and Trey Turner at the trade deadline just to help them out. But no, I looked at this race simply as this. If San Francisco doesn't win the division, it might not be because of, shall we say, a collapse or they faltered.
Yep.
The Dodgers are just good. Now, they still got 30 games to play, and they've got time to get it done. And today is going to be a start of that because they're in a 4-game skid.
Yeah.
So you got to win today to try to make up that ground again against the Dodgers.
The Dodgers are coming to town for a series this weekend, but right now they're dealing with another buzzsaw in the National League, that being the Milwaukee Brewers. Let's show you the highlights from last night.
Now Lorenzo Cain, bases loaded. Pitch, line drive, base hit right field. 1 run scores. Here comes Narvaez towards the plate. The throw from Bryant offline. It's 2-0 Milwaukee.
Tie game, 7th inning. And Peterson into left field, a base hit. The Brewers will take the lead as Cain scores.
Cain rips one towards left. Back at the warning track at the wall. It's off the top of the fence, and did it stay in play?
Here's the call. Home run. Lorenzo Cain will circle him.
All right, Rip, what has the Brewers shown you in this series against the Giants? I mean, because we've been talking about the staff all year, and we're going to visit with Corbin Burns, a member of that pitching staff, in a little bit. But Cain getting going.
Needed.
Christian Yelich getting going. Willie Adames has been like an MVP for them. What are they showing you?
I think for the most part, though, when you saw that, too, their record 82-52, 30 games over 500.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure we thought that they were going to be this good when the year started. But they have shown me, you talked about the bump. That's the first thing that jumps out there at me, is their starters are nasty. Their bullpen might be nastier if that's possible. But the boys getting going offensively, you're going to need to etch a few runs out down the stretch once the postseason starts, I should say, because I think they have the situation in hand where they can coast into the postseason.
It'll be Eric Lauer today for the Milwaukee Brewers. On the other side, you have Logan Webb, who's perhaps the hottest pitcher on the planet right now. And you want to dive in a little bit, and that brings us to how to. Some people, you go online, the old youtube.com, how to. Well, how to make a simple adjustment, Rip. How has Webb done that?
Well, I think he's just changed the grip on the fastball a little bit. And I want to show you that 2-seam fastball that I'm talking about, and we can explain that later. Look at that thing dive down and into righties. And if he has the ability to throw to that side of the plate, makes him very, very nasty. The breaking ball also, he's become this 2-seamer, sanker slider guy is what we used to call him back in the day. And that slider is real. So when you can carve up the plate, you can aim to the middle, and one goes this way and one goes this way, it's all good. I want to look at this at bat here. Chapman. This is what a sanker slider guy can do. So look at the misery he's in. Look at this ball hit him in his foot right here and the pain that he's in. So now he's got to go back into the batter's box going, I don't want to go in there. And then he has this arsenal where he throws the slider away because he don't want to foul another ball off his foot. So that's a 3-pitch ordeal right there, sanker in. Yan Gomes comes up later in the game. I'm going to introduce Mr. Changeup to you after hitting that part of the plate. And then he's going to follow the same track with a split change at 86. So fastball, change up, slide piece right here. See you later. And it got me thinking about this guy back in the day, Jake Peavy. There's the outside part of the plate, that 2-seam comeback fastball that he had. He could also throw it in there. But the sinker slider that this man had and the willingness to go compete was pretty real. That breaking ball is filthy. And when we put them side by side, freeze this for me. And when I get this glove up fully into the position, I want you to freeze it again. So get that hand up in there. Keep going, freeze. Both guys are almost identical in that mode. And I don't know what it necessarily does to the hitter right here, but it's something about throwing that glove up there first. It's like peekaboo, and then it's going to get out of the way. Play it through, and we're going to look at these two-seam fastballs on the outside part of the plate that are almost identical as they go. And then we'll do the breaking ball and freeze it again on that same point out there when that glove gets high. That's pretty good right there. I mean, look at this. It's almost identical what you do. Both guys also pitch from the first base side of the rubber. I thought was interesting because what that does, that tells me when the guy's doing that, this side of the plate is his bread and butter. And that two-seam fastball and that breaking ball can come to light. Play it forward, please. But the ability to be able to do fastball, slider, fastball, slider, fastball, slider. It's almost like you're going down middle of the plate. One's going in, one's going away. And when you look at the pitch usage, and we talk about making simple adjustment, look at the four-seam fastball that Logan Webb threw in 2020, 33% of the time, down to 11. But look at the sinker. 15% up to 36, and also that slider usage is up. So I look at him, even though that changeup is a nice weapon, and it was a little split change that I saw on Jan Gomes when we slowed it down and really looked at it. The sinker slider, if you can aim towards the middle, one's coming in and one's going away. This dude at home plate, especially right-handers, it's amazing. And what I want to talk about, that four-seam fastball, the how-to thing, if we can get in here, four-seam fastball is simply that. It's across this big horseshoe. That's a four-seam fastball. And what that is designed to do is basically spin this way, and it goes point A to point B. If we change the grip, and both Peavy and Logan Webb are kind of three-quarter guys that throw from here, when you're letting this thing go, these seams right here find a way to fight against the wind, and that's what pushes the ball down. So that's the sinker right there. So one simple adjustment. A four-seam fastball sometimes from here has a tendency to flatten out, especially if it doesn't have that extra giddy up at the end. A lot of guys that are four-seamers are in this position to get that rise, to get that lift. And that works, but that two-seamer, sinker slider, it's a great arm slot. Both those guys have it.
For the uninitiated who've never stood in the box, there's a difference between a sinker and a sanker.
The sinker is that look that Chapman gave you. Because back in the day, okay, I faced guys like Billy Swift, Kevin Brown, Scott Erickson. And I knew what that was like to hit that. There's a couple things. When that sinker's coming down and in on you,
I love it.
There's three things that can happen if you're the hitter. One, you can hit it hard, but it usually goes in the dugout. So now it's 0-1. Two, you keep it fair. You hit it about this high off your knuckles and you break your bat. Or three, you call a tow truck. Because that ball's going down on the foot.
All three stink.
None of them are good. None of them are good. That's a sinker.
So Logan Webb, his last 13 turns has been terrific. 2 or fewer runs allowed in all of those, and the Giants have won 12 of 13. He's basically become win day. They need a win today, and that takes us to our MLB Game of the Week poll presented by State Farm. Who will win today? Webb and the Giants or Eric Lauer and the Milwaukee Brewers? That is the pitching matchup. Speaking of pitchers, why don't we talk to a couple? When we come back, Corbin Burns, who faced off against Webb on the 6th of August. We'll talk with him, and Amy G is talking as well.
There's a base hit. Wong slaps one to left. Here comes Kane. Aquino's thrown to the plate, and Kane is in there. RBI single. Colton Wong. It is 4-2 Cincinnati. Wong sends it deep to right, and she's gone. Colton Wong. 2-run home run. Add-on runs for the Brewers in the bottom of the 8th. It is 7-4 now.
My goodness, how big is that? Boy, he's come up with some huge hits and big home runs.
2-out, 2-run home run Colton Wong with 3 RBIs in his last 2 at-bats.
Wong now top of the order. He has struck out twice in this one. And this one lined down the right field line. And it's going to play to run for Milwaukee. 2 runs come home. It took a while for the Brewers bats to get going in this series, but here they are. That was a changeup first pitch. And Colton able to wait back. That pitch was up down the middle and smokes it down the right field line.
Welcome back to the MLB Game of the Week YouTube pregame show presented by State Farm. We got a special guest with us, Rip. Corbin Burns of the Milwaukee Brewers. Burnsy, great to talk with you again. Last time we visited together, it was on a YouTube broadcast against the Reds. And one of those Reds, Rip, we heard Joey Votto talk about how this is the best staff he's ever faced in his career. So, Corbin, that's where I want to start. When you hear a hitter like Joey Votto say something like that, how did it hit you?
I mean, that's a great compliment. Joey's been in this league for a long time and faced a lot of good hitters. I think he even compared us to, I think it was the 2010 Phillies. And some of the guys that were on that team were pretty unbelievable. So to kind of get that recognition from Joey, a guy that's been in the league for a long time, is pretty special. And, I know it's something that myself, along with the other guys in this staff, take good pride on.
Corbin, take me into your little trip right now into San Fran. You throw Monday, throw well, get a W, and then you got just the rest of the week off that you're in San Francisco hanging out, and you watch your boys go out there and play. But take me into your routine on the road, shall we say, because you pitch on Monday. What's your side day like and what's going on there? And do you just kind of kick it on those extra off days?
Yeah, so the last couple of days, it's kind of been pretty relaxed. My day after and 2 days after are pretty laid back. It's more about getting the body recovered and trying to feel good after the last one. At this point in the year, I've don't really throw a bullpen anymore. It's more about just recovery and get what I need to get done and catch play and some flat ground in between. So it's been a good couple of days. The last 2 days had a bunch of family in town, so got to spend some time with them, entertain them a little bit, and watch these guys win a couple games.
I was just going to say, this is no ordinary road trip. Of course, you went to college at St. Mary's right there in the Bay Area. I imagine you had a whole village there at Oracle Park. Did you not?
Yeah. Had some friends close. My wife's family is a lot of them are from up in this area, so it's a pretty good homecoming to not only see them and the friends, but just to be back in the Bay where I played some of the years of college baseball.
Nelly talked about that staff, and I assume Joey Votto usually hits on the starters. But last night's ball game, you got to watch a plethora of relievers just coming in one after another doing the job. What's that like on a nightly basis? Maybe when you do turn the ball over, you go back into the dugout knowing that the game's in pretty good hands.
Yeah, I mean, our bullpen has been unbelievable. When we know we only have to go 6 innings, they hand the ball over to Boxberger, Williams, Hader combo at the end of the game. It's pretty special. Even when the starter gets roughed up a little bit early, we go to Cousins or Strickland or Suter early on. Those guys have been unbelievable all year. They're a group that needs to be credited for a lot of the wins we got, being in first place so far this year.
So your staff, top to bottom, starters to the pen, has gotten a lot of ink, a lot of run this year, and rightfully so. Joey Votto and all of us TV clowns, et cetera, et cetera. Who is the guy on your staff that makes you step back and go, wow, he's gross? Who's the filthiest guy on your squad?
I'd have to go between Williams or Hader at the back end. I think most hitters know that Devin's going to throw a changeup, and they still don't hit his changeup. And then I think pretty much the same goes for Hader. You're going to get a fastball at the top of the zone, and guys know it's coming and still can't hit it. So, the numbers they put up, the strikeout numbers they put up, it's pretty special. And as a starting staff, it's nice to have those two guys to lock it down at the back end of games.
You talked about their strikeouts. You're not too shabby at it yourself. But the thing that gets me probably as much as the punchies is the no walks that go with it. So take me through your mindset. Like when you do give a free pass, is that one of the things that's just so taboo you just don't want to be dealing with?
Yeah, so I mean, early on in my career, that's something I struggled with. Is I felt I got in trouble by putting guys on base, giving guys free passes. So that's something at the beginning of last year was really my focus. Like I know I can attack the zone. I got good stuff. I just don't want to hurt myself. I don't want to put guys on base. I want to make them earn it. So, yeah, if I could say I get a little upset when I walk a guy. There's some situations where walk's not the worst thing, and I have to tell myself out there like, hey, it's okay. There's a base open. You're fine. So, but yeah, for me, I like to take pride in limiting those free paces and making those guys earn it.
Last one, Corbin, before we let you go. This is the MLB Game of the Week live on YouTube. Favorite YouTube video of all time?
Oh, geez, favorite YouTube video. I think the one I still crack up is the Charlie bit me, where the little brother bites the older brother's finger. That's the first one that comes to mind. That will make you laugh every time. Yeah,
and we're so old now. I think they just graduated college. Corbin Burns, one of the studs on the Milwaukee Brewers staff. Thanks so much for taking some time out, man. Stay healthy, keep shoving, and we'll see you in the post.
Awesome, thank you guys.
I got Charlie bit me in my head now. There's the pregame sights from Oracle Park. So Rip and I are here in New Jersey. Well, Scott Braun, Sean Estes, Tim Dillard are on site in San Francisco, as is Amy G, who visited with Logan Webb, today's starter, visited yesterday. Here's their chat.
All right, Logan Webb with us, and you have clearly emerged as one of the best Giant starters this season, and it's been a fun storyline to watch you through your career. What do you feel has been the turning point for you, Logan, in finding that coveted consistency that starters seek?
I think Cap has talked about it a lot. I think the main thing is just attacking the zone, and I thought we were doing really good at that in spring, and then the first month and a half, I had some good starts, had some bad starts, and I feel like right before I got hurt, I was starting to kind of figure it out, you could find it a little bit, and unfortunately I was hurt. I had to stay out for a little bit, but then just kind of staying with that same mentality and of attacking the zone, going into the rehab starts and everything, and didn't know whether or not I was going to be coming out of the bullpen or starting, and luckily I was able to keep starting, and I think once you get in the groove, you just feel good out there, and you just get more confidence each time, for sure.
So confidence, attacking the zone, is going to be key against this Brewers lineup. They are deep, but you did face them in early August, so you have that experience, plus the benefit of being able to watch them for 3 games here at Oracle Park to see what they do. How dangerous is this lineup, and can you share the key to being able to contain them without giving away your game plan?
Yeah, they got an unbelievable team. Honestly, it's the mentality is the same. You just gotta attack them. I think I feel like all good teams are kind of like this, where if you get in bad counts, it's when you have good teams that have good hitters, they'll get you on that. And I think this team is no different. They got a lot of power hitters. They got guys who get on base. They got guys who get walks. They got a really good team, and especially with their pitching staff with that as well. So I'm excited to face them. It was fun last time. It'll be a good game again, I think.
It's going to be one to watch for sure. Last thing I want to ask you about is the slogan this year, one of many always with the Giants, is let the old guys play. And a couple of those old guys were winning some championships when you were in high school. Crawford, Posey, Belt. What has it been like to experience being their teammate? What have they given you in their veteran leadership to help you with your career?
I think the best thing about those guys is just how they come to the field every day and they just work. They know exactly what they want to do each and every day. And just finding that consistency and that routine, I feel like that's what I try to learn from them the most, especially, guys like Buster who I get to throw to every time, and just kind of picking his brain about everything. I always ask, I feel like I've asked him 10 different times, who his favorite pitcher was that he caught. He's probably told me, like I said, 10 different times, but just finding out little things that he likes, and just all the guys have been awesome, and they're the main reason I think why we're in the position that we are right now, because of what they've done before, and they just know how to be professionals, and I've learned a lot from being able to watch them.
It certainly rubbed off on you, that's for sure. We see it. Logan Webb, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
All right, let's turn it up. The creator spotlight, it's shining on Dawson Wright. Go ahead and subscribe to his channel, close to 50K subscribers. And he's also a massive San Francisco Giants fan. So it's appropriate that we have him on as we're about to watch the MLB Game of the Week live on YouTube featuring the San Francisco Giants. Dawson joins us from Pennsylvania. Dawson, great to digitally meet you. Of course, everybody can go to your channel and they can get anything from video essays on what's going on right now, current events in Major League Baseball, rankings, to also learning about baseball history. So I love that it's for fans of all ages and of all levels of interest. Being that you are a fan of the Giants, you wake up today and your team is no longer in first place, first time in a few months. How you feeling? Be honest with me. You all right?
Yeah, it's tough getting used to, but honestly, if you were going to tell me at the start of the season that we were only going to be half a game back, I would be absolutely thrilled. So, yeah, it's tough getting used to, but I'm still confident with where the team is right now.
See, all you fans watching, that is how you fan right. Perspective. Okay, but what do you want to see? What has to go right for the Giants to kind of win this battle with the Dodgers? LA's coming to town. That's a big series, and they could take first place right back. But what do you want to see out of your club?
Well, the offense really needs to show up. Posey's been struggling lately. I am really concerned about the starter depth with Wood and Cueto going down. So until they get back, they're going to really need to rely on this bullpen to help carry them through the games with some help from the offense as well.
Now, fandom aside, you can objectively say that this National League West race is incredible because it's not just San Francisco and LA. Yeah, the Padres, one of the most electric teams in the league. Now, granted, they hit a summer swoon and are now battling for a wild card spot. They were your #1 ranked preseason team, correct? Do you believe they can hang on to a postseason spot?
Yeah, well, I thought out of all the teams, they truly had the best offseason and were set to be a division contender, World Series contender. Their schedule for the rest of the year, it's not going to be nice to them. They don't have the type of easy schedule the Reds do. But with, Tatis coming back, they hit that summer skid. I really think they're better than that. I think they're a more complete team than the Reds are, and I would say I have them taking that second wild card spot.
Yeah, nobody could have predicted kind of just the unhealthy injury bug that has bitten the pitching staff time and again. Fernando Tatis Jr., a few IL stints as well. But, okay, big picture now, not just the division that you are paying most attention to. All of baseball, what September storyline really has you locked in?
I'm really interested in following the Seattle Mariners. They're having a lot better season than I thought they would. I believe right now they're 3.5 games back of the wild card spot. And, them making the playoffs would be a big deal to that franchise. They've been rebuilding for a while now. They've got some good pieces. But I really think they have a shot at taking that second wild card spot, and making the playoffs would be huge for that franchise this year.
All right, Dawson, I think you have a lot of subscribers, right? Close to 50,000. The OG ones, they know the Chapman Challenge, though. So take us back to the Chapman Challenge. And for those who haven't seen it, they're going to go watch in a few moments. But just break down what happened here.
Okay, so the Chapman Challenge, basically what you want to try and do is simulate catching Chapman. So you get a shorter distance away from your catcher, and you just want to see, how fast he's able to catch from that distance. That last flip where my poor catcher Jaden just took one right to the chest. That was about 140 miles an hour simulation. I believe he was able to catch 110, but that was a challenge a few years ago. I hope people start to bring it back because it was a lot of fun. It is a little dangerous. Don't try it at home, but it's something great, and it's something that really helped kickstart my channel too.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Would you rather catch Chapman in real life or have somebody do that challenge with you now?
I'd say somebody do that challenge with me now because, Chapman, you still get a little bit of movement on there,
Right.
With that tail, you're done behind the plate. You're done.
Yeah. Dawson Wright, again, subscribe to his channel. It's great to visit with you, man. Hopefully we can do it again soon. I know your favorite memory was the 14 Giants. That was a different decade. Maybe instead of even your magic, it's odd your magic. We'll see. But thanks again, man.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks again to Dawson Wright. There is Eric Lauer, who's really got it going lately. I mean, you look at his last 9 turns, he's got a 2.23 ERA. He's got the ball today for the Crew on the road in San Francisco. We come back. We got some picks to click from Rip.
Fastball, that one was hit well to right center field. Mike Yastrzemski can watch it. It's gone. And by plenty, a 2-run homer, his 20th of the year. 3-0 Giants. 451. He hits one, and nobody was there. Right into center field, a leadoff single. Known to Mike Yastrzemski, who got the hit that started the rally, and he lines this one into center field, base hit. So Yastrzemski, his second hit of the game. That lined right back up the middle, base hit. Mike Yastrzemski into center field for a leadoff single. Yastrzemski drives that one out to left center field. Going back, Peterson all the way to the wall, and it's gone! Mike Yastrzemski to left center field. That's a beautiful swing. 4-0 Giants. Yastrzemski out into left center field. That one's going to get down, and that's going to be another run. Peterson will cut it off. Wilmer coming in. He scores into second standing Yastrzemski. 5-0 Giants. What an impressive rally this has been.
Getting close to the end of the line on the MLB Game of the Week pregame show presented by State Farm. All right, now it's time for Picks to Click presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. Back with Rip here in Studio 42. I want to know, Rip, do you think Chris Bryant hits a home run today?
I'm going to say yes. And I know that I usually go on the underside of that because it's not that easy to hit homers.
No.
Look, San Fran, they need to stop the bleeding here. They need a W. This man might be the one to go bridge right here. So I'm going to say yes.
Now, you broke down Logan Webb and the adjustments he's made last year to this year. He's a ground ball pitcher. He's like second highest ground ball rate in the majors. But we're looking at punch outs today. 6.5 is we're setting the over-under. Where are you going?
Oh, that's a tough one for me right there. I think that's going to be under. I'm going to go with 6. Stay under. That's a good mark, though, the 6.5. Makes you think. I'm going to say under, but I'm still say he pitches extremely well, but under 6.5.
So he's got to face the Milwaukee lineup, which does not have Willy Adames in it today. Just getting a breather. It is his birthday, so happy birthday, Willie. Now, the Brewers are averaging 4.7 runs per game in this series this far. The first 3 games, they've won all 3. Over under 3 total runs for the Crew.
Another good number right there. I tell you what, Logan Webb has been so good.
Yeah, 2 or fewer in the last 13.
I'm going to go ahead and say under that one because I'm putting a lot of the eggs in that basket.
Okay.
If you didn't notice. San Fran winning.
Yep.
Means Logan's going to pitch well because KB's going to bridge too.
Okay, so I get
all the eggs in that basket.
I get the sense that you're leaning towards a Giants victory, but the number of runs, that's still a question for you. So I'm going to set it at 4.5. Well, I'm not. FanDuel Sportsbook is. What are you going to do? Over?
4.5 for the Gigantes?
Yes.
I'm going to say over. I think that, look, you just lost 4 in a row. It's a first 4-game skid. No reason to panic. You're in a good spot right there. You're still in second place, just a half game back from the Dodgers. Go out there and play a good game. Put some runs up on the board. Let Logan Webb do his thing.
All right, so we got Rip's take on not just those plays for this game, but also the result. He's leaning SF. What about you? We put the question out there on the MLB Game of the Week poll.
There you go.
Who's going to win? Wow, 55%. Agreeing with you, Bill Ripken. You're a man of the people. You always have.
I don't know about that. I'm just saying that 55% of the people out there got a pretty good idea what's going on. Look, Logan Webb's been really good.
Yes, he has.
Like I said, this is the first 4-game skid by the Gigantes. I don't think they're going to go to a 5-game skid.
Okay, last question I'm going to pose to you. You don't have much time. Right now, who's your horse in the National League? Because these are 2 front runners.
Who's the horse?
Yeah.
I still think it's the Dodgers right now. Right. When you look at them, there's no reason to think that this season has gone the way it has look, they're good.
Yeah.
The Dodgers are good.
And they're going to San Francisco next. But right now, it's the Brewers and Giants. Scott Braun, Sean Estes, Tim Dillard, and Amy Gutierrez are on the call. It's the MLB Game of the Week live on YouTube. Enjoy it.
Here's the pitch. Drives it deep. What a play! Are you kidding me?
Game day in San Francisco, and this one feels like it means more than most regular season tilts. You have the hometown team stuck in the mud, but a sizzling arm for them on the mound to try and save the day against a juggernaut from the Midwest. This is the MLB Game of the Week live on YouTube, presented by State Farm. We have two of the NL's finest for you today. The Milwaukee Brewers matching up with the San Francisco Giants for some Thursday baseball to complete a 4-game set at Oracle Park in California. We are here right now with you, Scott Braun, saying hello to the YouTube audience around the globe. And I'm along with former Giant Sean Estes, former Brewer Tim Dillard, also YouTube star. Did you know that?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I've looked up on YouTube how to be a good broadcaster. So
far, you're nailing it.
Yeah,
you're off to a great start.
Still early. Still early.
Both of these teams have been off to not just great starts, but they've carried that into the All-Star break and beyond. As you can see, the postseason picture features a Brewers team that is 30 games over 500, 10.5 up in the Central. The Giants' skid has bumped them out of first place for the first time since May 31st, but still, this team's in second place. They've exceeded expectations, and I've heard you took a trolley to get over here. Is that true?
I absolutely took a trolley to get over here, yes, because that's what most of the Giants have done this year. They've taken trolleys to get to the ballpark. How have they done it? Now, you can check out the painted ladies in the background, opening scene to Full House, one of your favorites. Well, they're the first team in the major leagues to 50, 60, and 80 wins. There hasn't been a month that's gone by where they have finished less than over 500. That's how solid and consistent they've been. They had the best record in the National League for 107 days up until yesterday. Now they're looking up at the Dodgers. How have they done it? A team effort. Franchise record. 22 pitchers have wins. Two of the best in the rotation. And Kevin Gausman, Logan Webb. You see Logan Webb today, second best team ERA in Major League Baseball. And then look at that, the franchise record for home runs through September 1st. How have they done that? Well, 10 different guys have had 10-plus home runs. And that leads in Major Leagues, and that's never been done in Giants history. So what did they do at the trade deadline? Well, they wanted to get more power, I guess. Well, they went out and they got former MVP and Chris Bryant, who's fit right in as a Giant. He's very versatile. He obviously can hit the home run. He's a great clubhouse guy, so he's been a great pickup for the Giants. And since they've had him, they've been even better.
That was really nice of Buster Posey to just kind of move over on the trolley and make a little space for KB. But hey, the offense hasn't shown up so far in this series. Now we can give a ton of credit to the Brewers pitching staff, as they actually have not had a deficit, the Brewers, in these first 3 games. These are the Giants' struggles documented at the moment, but let's also make sure that we highlight, Sean, the fact that this is an historically excellent start and now really continuation into the season as we're in September, and look at them, 84-49 on the year.
Yeah, nobody would have expected this coming into the season. They built themselves a little bit of cushion. It's inevitable. They're a playoff team. It's just a matter of, are they going to play a 5-gamer out of the gate, or are they going to play a 1-game playoff? It looks like the Brewers are headed toward the 5-game playoff. So 2 great teams, very evenly matched team. Giants aren't playing their best baseball right now, but they got a chance to right the ship with Logan Webb on the bump today.
Yeah, that's one of their best on the mound. We'll talk about him in just a few. Tough act to follow. I know you don't get to hop on the trolley, but you do get to look up Bartending 101, and Craig Counsell is actually teaching the course, apparently.
Yeah, wearing lederhosen too, which we saw him in the dugout earlier. He was not wearing that. But here it is, right? Yeah, here's Brandon Woodruff, man, the big Woo Brew. 18 quality starts this year. You got Corbin Burns, strikeout man, 189 strikeouts on the year. Here comes another all-star. Light, said Fred, light on hits, heavy on strikeouts. He got his first all-star selection 2021. There'll be more of those. And of course, the Airbender Ale. Devin Williams following up his rookie of the year last year with just an amazing changeup, continuing doing what he did last year. And of course, Josh Hader coming in to seal the deal. You look at these guys, and they're just lights out. They're mostly homegrown guys, and they're some of Milwaukee's best.
The pitching is sobering, drum swings. I mean, just keep adding on the lines for what they're putting together. On pace for 99 wins. Brewers fans are like, yeah, actually, we'd like a clean 100, but we'll settle for 99 if that's how it works out. Team ERA, top 3 in baseball. And they're really good on the road. 46 up and 23 down away from Miller Park. We're about to bring in the 4th member of our team. Amy G will cover the OG trio for the Giants. She's going to chat with Brandon Crawford before we get to game time in San Francisco.
See if Burns can deliver one here. There's Burns, a base hit into left field. Peterson winds it up. He's going to head home. No throw comes in. And Corbin Burns with his 4th RBI of the season. 2-2, and he got him. A buzz bomb on the outside corner. Peter ready to fire, and a swing and a fly ball, shallow right center. It is Garcia who makes the catch to end the ball game.
2-0 Brewers.
Swing and a high fly deep into left field. Back Dickerson way back. It is gone. Halfway up the bleachers in left field for Lorenzo Cain.
He hits that one into left center field. Got some carry. Yastrzemski on the run. It's off the wall. Takes a big bounce. Tellez on his way to 3rd. It'll be an RBI triple.
The Brewers 3 outs away from taking the first 2 games of this 4-game series.
Flores drives one deep down the left field line. This one on its way. It is gone. Giants get a run on the board here in the bottom of the 9th inning. So now the Giants are down to their final out.
Lifts it in the air. Cain is under it, and the Brewers have won back-to-back games.
We've got a beautiful day in San Francisco. It's a great day for some baseball. We're going to see the final game of this 4-game series between the San Francisco Giants and the Milwaukee Brewers. Welcome back to our broadcast, everybody. I'm Amy Gutierrez. The Giants trying to salvage a game in this series as they have dropped the first 3, but that is not to say they haven't had a very successful season. In fact, the Giants have been probably the biggest surprise in baseball. Coming into 2021, no one was thinking the Giants were going to be a contender, but they've quietly put together a very good season. We have heroics from players that most fans are just getting to know, but there's 3 guys the Giants fans will never forget. They are usual suspects. It's Brandon Belt, it's Brandon Crawford, and it's Buster Posey. Not only have they led this team with their veteran experience, they're each having a career season. They're contributing that to this club. Brandon Belt, a career high in home runs. Crawford, a career best OPS. Posey as well, the best since his 2012 season. So surprise is kind of the theme here, because a lot of fans thinking it's a surprise that Brandon Crawford's having such a resurgent season. It's 10 years for him in Major League Baseball. But I think a better word for it is rewarded. I had a chance to catch up with the 3-time All-Star, the Gold Glover, about the amount of work he put into his offseason to have success in 2021.
Yeah, I mean, I think it started when this new hitting group came in, and I was basically open arms, because after 2019, not having a very good year offensively, I was open to whatever these new eyes had for me. And so there was a lot of work put in, like January and leading up into spring training of last year, of 2020. And I think the results were starting to show a little bit last year. Obviously a shortened season, but so it would have been interesting to see what a full season would look like. And I think this is, kind of the results of that work that I put on in the cage. And then you mentioned workouts. I think this offseason I just was a little bit more consistent, I guess, just because we didn't go on any family trips or anything like that really, and stayed pretty local. So I was able to kind of stay on top of it more, but also just a little bit more like dynamic workouts, explosiveness and stuff like that helped out also.
You pretty much only knew one manager for the majority of your career in Bruce Bochy. Now you've got Kapler. What has he done to earn your trust, and what would you pinpoint it is about him that brings out the best in you on the field? I
think just how he's able to kind of adapt and change just within the last year that I've been with him. Coming into last year, you know, we didn't know exactly what to expect. It was a weird year, and you know, initially I think it was pretty well known. Initially I wasn't going to play against lefties, and I think just the openness to be able to see you know, yeah, what guys can do, or just being able to use his eyes and see, you know, maybe experience or defense, or you know, lefties can't hit lefties, like stuff like that. He's very open to that, and you know, this year has been totally different. He's allowed starting pitchers to go later into games, even if, you know, the numbers sometimes don't say to, or you know, lefties can hit lefties, stuff like that.
Well, thank you so much for your time. The cherry on the top as we wrap up with Brandon Crawford is he gets to be a Giant for 2 more seasons. Thank you for your time, Brandon Crawford. Yeah, I mean, that's probably the biggest reward, right? He gets to remain a San Francisco Giant, the team he grew up loving, until 2023. All right, we have lineups. We have first pitch coming up. It's Logan Webb squaring off against Eric Lauer. Don't go anywhere, anyone. We've got day game baseball, Giants and Brewers, coming up.
Now Lorenzo Cain, bases loaded. Pitch, line drive, base hit right field. 1 run scores. Here comes Narvaez towards the plate. The throw from Bryant offline. It's 2-0 Milwaukee on a 2-run single by Lorenzo Cain.
Dickerson to third. And now Bryant.
Right center field. Into the gap. That will go through. Dickerson has scored. And Bryant will stop at second with an RBI double.
So now Buster,
he's due. Right along the first base line, a fair ball. Bryant around third. He scores the tying run, and Belt goes to third, and it's 2-2.
2 on, 2 out, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Tie game, 7th inning. And Peterson into left field, a base hit. The Brewers will take the lead as Cain scores. And Jace Peterson continues to impress.
Lorenzo Cain, here's the pitch to him. Cain rips one towards left. Back at the warning track at the wall. It's off the top of the fence. And did it stay in play? It did. And the Brewers are going to take another look at this one.
Here's the call. Home run.
It's the Brewers and the San Francisco Giants.
This has the feel of a playoff type series. There is a lot of buzz going on with these two teams right now.
This is going to be a lot of fun.
Hit a mile to right.
Get up! Get out of here! Gone!
It is out of here. Oh, that ball's hit. Not coming back.
He just put the crew on top.
Can you believe it? And he makes the catch. Oh, what a play.
At the wall, leaps, and he makes the catch.
And this is going to win it for the Brew Crew. And the ball game is over.
Two of the top 3 teams in the National League squaring off this afternoon and finishing up a 4-game series. It's the Giants hosting the Milwaukee Brewers. It's all happening right here live on YouTube. And YouTube game days are special. Mic'd up players, dugout interviews, global audience. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. Also, brand new feature in the last few weeks. We rolled it out. You can personalize your listening experience by listening to the home or radio calls, or us, or just DJ it. Go back and forth. You do you. Pitching matchup, Eric Lauer against the great Logan Webb. Wow, he has been fantastic, especially in the last 12-13 starts. And Lauer just now making his 4th start coming off the COVID IL, but on the season 2, mid-3s ERA. Webb has allowed 2 runs or fewer in each of his last 13 starts. For as good as Kevin Gausman has been this season for San Francisco, Webb has been the man lately, Sean. And let's run through your State Farm scouting report.
Well, Logan Webb, you want to clear the mechanism. You want to remove distractions. You want to focus on the pitch, throw the catcher without worrying about the hitter. You want to commit to every pitch. Sometimes he thinks a little bit too much. He's at his best when he goes out there, pounds the strike zone, doesn't think, just relies on stuff. You want to continue killing worms. Keep the ball on the ground. He's got the highest ground ball percentage in the National League this season at 61%. And then 2 or fewer. I mean, 13 straight starts, he's given up 2 runs or fewer, which is best in the big leagues this year. And in those 13 starts, his team is 12-1. The one loss coincidentally came against the Brewers in his last start against Milwaukee.
That's right. That was on the 6th of August. He matched up against Corbin Burns in that one, but Webb was fantastic. 6 innings, 1 run, 3 hits, 9 strikeouts to just 1 walk, and went 91 pitches in that one. So second time around against the Brewers. We're underway on YouTube, and Webb fires a strike at Colton Wong. Scott Braun, Sean Estes, Tim Dillard, and ABG is down on the field. Wong's numbers even better on the road this year. Chop shot. And let's run through the visiting starting 9 lineup card presented by State Farm for Craig Counsell and the best road team in baseball. We just saw Wong bounce out. Urias is playing short for Adames today. Yelich is on fire lately. Garcia's having a career year. Peterson is an on-base machine. Vogelbach is back as of yesterday. Bradley a down season on offense. Luke Maile was just called up yesterday as well, and he'll be catching for Eric Lauer. And here's Luis Urias, who Craig Counsell told us, Tim, has really relaxed himself since Willy Adames actually took his job. It actually helped him.
Well, they put him in at everyday shortstop. He probably just wasn't ready to kind of take over that role. That's a pretty big role for a guy to do that at such a young age, but Willy Adames comes in, takes that pressure off Urias, and I mean, everywhere he plays, he's fantastic, and he's been getting the job done at the plate as well.
I think sometimes we forget the ages for some of these players. Just because Juan Soto comes up or Wander Franco at 20, 21 years old and looks like they belong right away, that's not the case for everyone. Urias has been one of the better offensive performers on the team this year. That's a hot shot to Belt. He found it. The toss to Webb covering for the out with plenty of time.
A great job by Logan Webb getting over to cover first base. You're taught from the first day of spring training, ball hit to the right side, your first step has to be toward first base. And you can't assume the play's always going to be made either. So Brandon Belt, nice job over there, positioning perfect right there on that ball. Hot shot off the bat of Urias, and another ground ball for Logan Webb. I mentioned the ground balls. That's 2 now to start this game.
61.2% ground balls this year for Logan Webb. That's best in the National League, and that's much better than his mark from a year ago. Former MVP Christian Yelich has hit safely in 19 of his last 20.
Well, the reason why it's been an improvement from last season is because of his 2-seam usage. He's thrown a lot more sinkers this year, 36% compared to 15% last year. He's trusting that pitch, and he's getting great results.
Gotten a miss, and we're going to try and guess the run total for Milwaukee today. Odds courtesy of FanDuel. It's just at 3, the over-under. Both of you take a shot at this, and keep in mind who's on the mound. And just law of averages. I mean, the Brewers have won the first 3 in this series. Yelich going to left side, and Brandon Crawford makes a sweet play fading away. Real quick, before I go to break, over under 3 runs for Milwaukee today.
Under. Over. I have to say
there
over.
You go. Pressure's on. Crawford handled the pressure very nicely. The only man on the left side of the infield. He makes the play. 3 ground balls. That's what Logan Webb does, and we'll see the Giants back next.
On July 7, 2008, the Milwaukee Brewers made one of the biggest trades in franchise history when they acquired reigning Cy Young winner CC Sabathia from Cleveland. They made the move with one goal in mind: make the postseason for the first time since 1982.
We felt before we got CC that we were a pretty good club, but what CC did was just give us incredible depth in, the ace department.
CC Sabathia with a 5-hit shutout.
When we got CC Sabathia, we made it loud and clear, hey, we're going to do everything that we can do to bring our fans to postseason baseball.
Sabathia goes all the way. What a masterpiece.
Sabathia went 11-2 with Milwaukee, pitching on 3 days rest in 3 consecutive starts down the stretch.
The Brewers win again, and CC Sabathia his 3rd straight complete game.
And on that final day of the 2008 season, CC delivered his most clutch performance of the year, leading the Brewers to their first postseason in nearly 2.5 decades.
The Brewers win! Sabathia, a complete game! The Brewers are going to the playoffs! How about CC Sabathia? What a pickup.
Three ground ball outs for Logan Webb and the Giants. They produced that in the top of the inning. Now we'll see if the offense can produce. And here's their starting 9 presented by State Farm. Austin Slater will lead the way, and then Chris Bryant, the former MVP in the trade deadline acquisition. Brandon Belt is having some season. He's at a career-high 20 home runs. Darren Ruff has been a stud for them at the plate. Tyro Estrada's playing second today. Crawford at short. Casali instead of Posey is catching. Mauricio Dubon was just called up. We'll go over that in a moment. And Logan Webb will round out the starting 9. We begin with Austin Slater. Last night 0 for 3 with a walk, and this time first pitch going after it. Deep center field, and forget about it. Austin Slater muscles up, and the Giants are on the board with 1 pitch. It's their first lead of the series. Make it 1-0 on his 10th of the season.
And that's why Austin Slater is on this roster, why he was with the club from the get-go, is to kill left-handed pitching. Hasn't gone as well this year. He was not waiting around, took a first pitch fastball, knows Lauer's going to throw a lot of fastballs, was sitting on it. But the execution up in the zone, he drilled it to the big part of the ballpark, and the Giants are on the board early trying to set this tone.
Looked like he was probably in the dugout earlier going, you know what, I'm going to swing first pitch no matter what.
That has to be predetermined as a hitter, doesn't it?
I think so. I would do that.
Especially as the leadoff hitter, too.
Yeah, there's certain guys, as we watch the pitch and the swing by Slater, he has a ton of power. He's hit some of the longest home runs on this Giant team this year, but he just hasn't been connecting very consistently.
Well, he gets to hop aboard the trolley now. If you were watching us at the beginning, 10 players with double-digit homers now make it 11.
Yeah, he was one of those guys. He was sitting on 9 for a while. Now 11 double-digit home run guys. It's amazing.
That's crazy. He was jealous. He saw the opening, saw everyone getting on the trolley, and felt a little left out.
It's easy to watch us.
Yeah.
He was hanging out on his phone inside the clubhouse. But seriously, this team knows how to spread the wealth, and they have been on a power surge all season long. It's incredible. Bryant lifts one, gets under it. And Jackie Bradley Jr. doesn't have to move much. There's out number 1. Okay, so Eric Lauer was rudely interrupted by Austin Slater on the first pitch, but the State Farm scouting report shows us a guy who's having a great season, Tim.
Yeah, he loves day games too. Make my day, punk. 2.76 ERA in 7 day games. I mean, not really conducive to what we saw in the first pitch right there, but it is conducive to the accelerate early then cruise. He has trouble in the first couple innings until he settles down, and his Invisicutter at the top of the zone, that's his bread and butter. Gets most of his swings and misses on it.
And it sounds good. I have an Invisicutter.
Yeah.
What?
Was that first pitch in the Invisicutter, or is that just a four-seamer?
I don't know. I was
you didn't have a chance
changing
to
channels.
See it?
I have Phillies and Washington Nationals over here. I was in charge of the remote.
Juan Soto was just up, so I'm sure you were locked in on that.
They put it down as a four-seamer, so it wasn't the Invisicutter. He wasn't ready for it.
Yeah. Special occasions.
Well, I'm sure we'll get a heavy dose of the Invisicutter today.
Heavy dose of movie drops as well from Tim. Look out, Sean. Me and you are going to be tested. What was that first one from, Tim?
Which one?
You dropped one with Lauer.
Oh, yeah, Dirty Harry.
There we go.
Yeah. Come on.
Clint Eastwood, baby.
Yeah. It filmed here.
Yeah. He lives down south in Carmel.
Belt roller. Wong is as good as it gets at the Keystone. 2 gone.
You were talking about Logan Webb and being a ground ballsman. Lauer's not really the case. It's kind of the opposite. He's a fly ballsman. He doesn't mind giving up fly balls. I think that's an interesting thing. But if you're going to pitch at the top of the zone that much, you're going to have to make sure you can keep it in the park.
As long as they're not barreled and hit a long ways, it's all right to be a fly ball pitcher, especially in this ballpark. This is, Matt Cain pitched here for a lot of years of being a fly ball pitcher. The wind swirls in this ballpark. It tends to knock down a lot of home runs. They move the fences in. That's helped out a little bit. But this is still a really tough place to hit home runs, which the Giants have done this year even more impressive.
State Farm defensive setup. 3 Gold Glovers out there for Milwaukee. Ruff takes a strike. I think Lamont Wade Jr. showed us how cozy this ballpark was yesterday. He hit a ball that turned into a double in the late stages of a loss, but it would have been a home run in every other park, according to StatCast.
Yeah, if I had $1 for every time I heard that in this ballpark, that would have been a home run in every other ballpark. Yeah, I mean, especially Triples Alley. I mean, that's just a really long ways out there. 415.
415 with a high wall.
Yeah, Lamont Wade Jr. against Woodruff the other night in his first at bat, he thought he got one, squared one up. From his reaction, it looked like he hit it out of the ballpark. And then last night again, same type of reaction. And unfortunately for him, they turned both of them into doubles. I guess he's getting his first taste of Oracle, although he's been here, for a big portion of this year. We've seen a lot of those balls he hit goes out of the ballpark. He's been a huge pickup for the Giants.
Ruff pops one up. That'll go out of play. Ruff has been quite the pickup. A couple years ago, he was crushing baseballs for a few years in the Korean baseball organization. Came back to the States, and he's really taken off with San Francisco. If you're into OPS plus, and 100 is league average, he's at 149. That is comprehensive stat, factors in the ballpark and the league you're in. He leads the team in that category.
Well, he's been, I know this is going to shock some people, but he's been the right-handed version of Max Muncy number-wise this year with about 150 less at bats. So there's something to be said about that. But when he's in the lineup, he's doing damage.
Payoff, he walks. He'll do plenty of that as well. Just like Muncy.
That's right. He'll take a walk, as you mentioned, over 1,000 against left-handed pitching. Did you say against left-handed pitching?
Of course. He loves lefties. He's actually been pretty good against righties this year, too. But look at the OBP for Darren Ruff. It was at 400 a few days ago. He's just a few ticks under that mark, among the best in the National League.
Dilly and I were talking about this yesterday watching the game, is that's what this lineup does, top to bottom. They work counts, they take pitches, they don't swing and miss a whole lot, not a lot of chase.
Tyro Estrada going after the first pitch, aligns it to left, and Christian Yelich is there. Hard hit baseball results in a fly ball out, but the Giants pounce first and take their first lead of this series. Quashtag in the commentary section goes, wasting no time. That is correct. 1-0, San Francisco through 1.
Can't stop smiling. I'm so giddy to be here and happy. Family's happy.
Thank you so much, man. Welcome to the band.
It's a new chapter in our lives. We're closing one that was great and opening a new one that's hopefully even better. Coming to a team like this that has so much history and winning ways and just so many good veterans in the clubhouse, I was so excited that I was going to be joining. I feel like there's no ego here. I mentioned the veterans, and then you have some young guys and people filling in holes whenever they need it. Like, that's the type of team baseball that you want, and that's what I hope to do here too.
We already love you!
Coming from a team that hadn't won one in 108 years, having that on your shoulders, I hope would serve me well in any type of playoff push or pennant race here, and hopefully all the way to the World Series.
You're the man, Chris. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.
Like I told Cap when he first called me, I said, I want to play wherever you want me to. I'm going to hit wherever you want me to, and I just want to win. One thing I really was excited, just wearing the orange and black. I told my wife, I was like, hopefully I look good in those colors. We'll see his first game today.
And fans, he is here, batting second, making his Giants debut at third base, number 23, Chris Bryant.
A little sunshine out there now in San Francisco. One of the best times of the year to be at this ballpark, and really one of the best years to be a Giants fan. Yes, I know they have quite a few titles in their recent past, but look at the deal that they just pulled off for Chris Bryant about a month and a half ago, and then it gets us thinking of some of the other notable deadline acquisitions like Kevin Mitchell, future MVP a couple years after they picked him up. Jason Schmidt, Javier Lopez, 3 World Series titles. He was awesome for them. And then Hunter Pence, of course, who is at the ballpark quite frequently. Yes, 2010, 2012, 2014, they were an every other year kind of thing. And it's 2021. I know it's an odd year, but it's working for him right now. There's KB. So let's start our first poll question of the day. Best trade deadline acquisition in Giants history. We give you the 4 that we just talked about: Mitchell, Schmidt, Lopez, or Pence. And you guys are both new to the party here, so I don't know if they told you, but you need to participate and give us your answer. And sometimes that even helps to influence everyone that's watching on their phone or on their computer or wherever they're watching, tablet. They might make their choice based on what Tim Dillard says.
Well, I actually know Hunter Pence, name drop, so I'm going to go Hunter Pence.
Logan Webb picks up his first strikeout after 3 ground balls in the first. Sean, you?
I'm going to say ding, 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 ding on that, Hunter Pence, because I like World Series. I don't know about you guys, but, you know, Javi's got a bunch of them, and I love Javi, and, you know, he's a broadcaster, so we're boys, and I'd like to pick him based on just him being my buddy, but Hunter Pence and what he did when he came over as a Giant, is not just on the field, but off the field, was huge in their run to winning the World Series in 12 and again in 14. Just the energy he brought every day, production on the field, you know, was solid, but just what he brought to the clubhouse was the difference.
That's a strike to Jace Peterson, on base Jace, they're calling him. Well, Hunter Pence, you said ding, ding, ding. I thought you were going to say yes, yes, yes.
I should have gone yes, yes, yes. You remember that? That was that rallying cry they had for that. I don't know what year it was, but.
For wrestling fans, that's what Daniel Bryan does.
Yep. Hunter brought that into the dugout.
It was working. It's all working for Logan Webb so far this season. He picks up another strikeout. Secondary pitches have been superb for Logan Webb lately as we watch it again. And let's bring in Amy G. Amy, you got us?
Yes, I have you.
All
Gentlemen,
right.
sorry about that.
Uh-oh, we'll get back to Amy.
We don't have her. I know she was going to talk about that nasty slider we just saw with Logan Webb.
Now Daniel Vogelback, and a little paint on the outside corner.
That's the thing about Logan Webb this year, is that he's got the good sinker that gets the ground balls, but he also has a plush changeup and a swing and miss slider. He's got 3 pitches that he can get you out with, and the location's been huge because he's been making those pitches look like strikes, and then with 2 strikes he makes them look like strikes, and then they end up being balls. But his aggressive getting ahead in the count with all those.
And he gets himself yet another ground ball, played on a nice hop by Tyro Estrada, unfazed. So 4 ground balls, 2 strikeouts, 6 up, 6 down for Logan Webb. His team leads it 1-0.
It's Brian Wilson, and it's all on him.
The first out is the biggest out in any closer's inning. Josh Hamilton steps up. He's got MVP locked up in my head, and I was fortunate to get a strikeout looking.
Strike 3 call.
Get that call, get that first out of the way.
1 down in the 9th.
Then he gets Vladimir, I think, the ground out on the first pitch. So now we got 2 outs.
And the Giants, after all those years of waiting, are 1 out away from winning the World Series.
And now I got Nelson Cruz. I got 2 strikes.
Strike 2.
Looking at the dugout, everyone's on edge. I can feel the electricity in the crowd. I'm going to throw my best slider of the year right now. If he hits a home run, whatever, get the next guy. And he swung through it. They call it strike 3.
Swing and a miss! Yes! And that's it!
And the dream started.
For the first time in 52 years, the Giants are world champions. Yes! San Francisco Giants are the 2010 World Champions.
It's the MLB Game of the Week live on YouTube, presented by State Farm. Scott Braun, Sean Estes, Tim Dillard, and Amy G joining us in just a moment from gorgeous Oracle Park here in San Francisco, California. Hello to everyone watching us worldwide on YouTube this afternoon for just an epic showdown between two of the best in the National League. Brewers have taken the first three in this four-game set. And San Francisco has actually fallen out of first place for the first time in a few months. They're a half game back of the Dodgers entering the day. Now Brandon Crawford, who has the best batting average since July 1. So the power has ticked down a little bit, Sean, for Crawford lately, but he has been an on-base machine.
I mean, he's had an unbelievable year. He was rewarded with a 2-year deal.
In on the hands, little squibber. And Yelich will trot in for out number 1.
Was rewarded with a 2-year deal, and coming into the season, a lot of people were thinking this may be his last year. He even mentioned that he was probably not going to play against left-handed pitching, but he's proven everybody wrong. He came in with a chip on his shoulder, believed that he was one of the best shortstops in the major leagues, and said, don't forget about me. I'm still here, and ends up making the All-Star team. Like I mentioned, 2-year deal. He's been unbelievable defensively, and you mentioned the average since July 1st. He's cooled off as of late, as has a couple of these Giants hitters offensively, but he'll show up when it counts the most.
Good thing he stuck with it. 2 years, $32 million. Not bad. Lauer gets a whiff from Kirk Casale. He showed that little stat on how the Giants have done when Casale has started. Does it make a huge difference, Tim, on who your catcher is?
It does at times. You have to sit there and trust the guy. If you're 100% behind a pitch and he calls something different and you shake off and he calls the same thing again, you have to sit there and go one or two places with it, and you say, okay, do I know this guy well enough? Would I let him babysit my kids type attitude? And if you do, you go with him. But you need that communication.
Casale must be some babysitter. They love working with him. He watches one wide, a ball and 2 strikes. Logan Webb has a 1.69 ERA in 8 starts when Casale is behind the dish. It's 3.18 in 12 starts with Posey. It's no knock on Buster. It's just they really enjoy working with Kirk Casale, who's down on strikes. It's the first punch out of the day for Eric Lauer.
Yeah, I felt bad for Casale yesterday. He gets an at bat off the bench, and who's he got to face in the 9th inning? Josh Hader. It's like, here's a changeup, here's a slider, here's a fastball. That's a tough AB. There's a fastball.
And he threw him changeups on top of that.
Yeah.
Hader did last night. It wasn't even fair.
Yeah, he had a nasty changeup last night.
He did. And you mentioned it, Dilly, that he worked a lot on that changeup, working with Devin Williams on the changeup, right? I mean,
they're throwing partners, and they play catch every day. And then, you know, you throw your flat ground where you squat down in the grass and you're catching, and they just throw nasty pitches to each other. I've never had that.
Yeah, they work on it, and Williams is helping Hader out with his changeup, and I'm like, you throw 99 from the left side. Why do you need a changeup? Well, we saw last night he came in the game, stole a couple strikes with changeups. It's nasty, and then he can ride that heater above the strike zone, and it's unfair. Speaking of heaters above the zone, that's what Lauer likes to throw as well.
He's pumping them in there here in the second. Dubon goes after the 0-2, going the other way. Trotting back is Garcia, and the out is recorded. Lauer will sit down the side in order in the second. Austin Slater touched him up in the first. That's why the Giants lead at 1-0 after 2.
You couldn't help but watch Gorman Thomas. Rugged, ferocious, Brew Crew personified.
Gorman was a guy that the town really identified with and just fell in love with.
I think batting average is overrated to a certain extent, and the name of the game is RBIs and home runs.
From 1978 through 82, no player in the American League hit more home runs than Gorman Thomas.
Me being plugged into the 4-hole there for a long time was fabulous.
Hi, base him, Gar.
There was always somebody on base.
Runners at the corners and nobody out. Lined up the middle for a base hit. Gorman Thomas really comes alive when he's got runners on base.
And although he didn't look like your prototypical center fielder, Gorman got the job done.
The least center field looking outfielder that you'd ever imagine. I mean, he was big, he wasn't fast, he looked a little bit out of shape.
But what he lacked in style, Thomas made up for with sheer hustle and aggressiveness.
Gorman didn't leave anything on the table. He gave you everything that he had that day.
Hey, there's Eduardo Escobar, who should be back in the mix for the Brewers tomorrow. They trail 1-0, and fans watching the MLB Game of the Week live on YouTube, you have your choice of listening experience. Let's run through it. Gear icon, there you go. Choose audio track, select either primary broadcast, or you can select home call, away call. Whoever's doing this right now is just doing an excellent job. All audio is seamlessly integrated on your favorite devices, so you don't miss a minute of the action. You can go back and forth, have fun with it. And also, we love this on YouTube, paying off our first poll question of the day, best trade deadline edition in Giants history. I'm sure Hunter Pence is watching right now, and he takes the title. Tim and Sean agreed, 66% of the vote. And of course, 2012 was a pretty good looking year for the Giants. I'll take one comment from one of our YouTube creators as well, as Jackie Bradley Jr. fouls off the first pitch from Logan Webb here in the third. Made the cut, said hands down Hunter Pence, because in both the clubhouse and on the field, he was such a massive pickup. Just echoing what you said a few minutes ago, Sean.
Oof. Nasty slider. Yeah, you guys got me in trouble with Hob. He texted me and said, "You're dead to me." Hey, wow. You finished second, Hob. I'm sorry, buddy. I was just, I was following Dilly there. I said whatever Dilly picks, I'm going to go with.
Yeah, you're up here. You're so nervous, man. You're making me nervous.
We have a few more of those to go, so pressure's on. There's the shift against Bradley Jr. That was no problem for Brandon Crawford a couple innings ago. Made an excellent play to retire Yelich in the first. Bradley strikes out. It's been a tough season for him at the plate, and Webb has K number 3 on the afternoon.
Another slider, 2 strike. It's not the pitch as much as it is the location. It's a strike out of his hand. It has such good late bite to it down in the zone. Gets a lot of swing and misses with that pitch. And he's been, talk about 3 strikeouts, but he's been doing this efficiently as well. He's been getting quick work of these Brewers hitters so far.
They would love a lengthy outing from Webb. The Giants did have to implement a bullpen game to start off this series because Johnny Cueto was scratched with an illness. He pitched the next day and then eventually ended up on the injured list. But when Cueto pitched, that was in place of Alex Wood, who's on the COVID IL at the moment. So the Giants are battling a bit with their rotation at the moment. He's wasting no time.
Yeah, this is one guy that isn't battling.
Well, he's getting outs on 3 pitches or less. He already has 5 in the game. He's throwing strikes with all his pitches. He's not going out there going, here's my fastball, I'm going to establish this thing. He's been mixing it up, changeup, slider.
Luke Maile, comebacker for Webb. There's 2.
Yeah, that's the thing about Logan Webb, is that if he has a pitch working for him, be it the sinker, the slider, the changeup, he'll ride that pitch. And he'll say, okay, he can locate his slider as well. And he'll say, you're going to have to beat me with this pitch. And until you do, this is what you're going to see a steady diet of. And his slider's been, we talked about the sinker being a big pitch for him, but his slider this year, hitters are only hitting $161 off of his slider this year with 60 strikeouts. So that's been a big pitch for him as well.
You see Eric Lauer does have 1 home run this season. I'm trying to work up the pitch count if I can. There you go, Eric. Takes a strike down the pipe. I'll get this question in there for you guys before we actually talk to Kevin Gausman, who's going to join us in the next half inning. YouTube creators, you know what to do. Send us your questions right now for Gausman, and we'll ask them in a few minutes. But Made the Cut said, better off-speed pitches, Webb or Gausman, Sean? I mean, you watch him more, so I go to you first.
That's a pretty good one.
Sean will answer later because Logan Webb is oh so economical this afternoon. Now 9 up, 9 down, and his super teammate Kevin Gossman is going to join us on YouTube in a moment.
Just smokes it.
Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Great baseball right there. And that one's going to go. That ball was crushed. And this is going to do it. Oh, my.
Strike 3. That was a great play. I talked about his fielding skills. That was remarkable.
Something like this is what they came for.
Catcher, pitcher, chemistry. Let's do that because you don't automatically.
Hey, does anybody want to be friends with me today?
Hey,
just because I got a microphone don't mean we can't be friends. Get your hugs, little baby.
Fail. 1 2 1 2. Check.
This dude just keeps hitting the ball, and it's like not finding anything but some lucky play. That ball is smoked.
Agreed. Daniel Vogelback, mic'd up players, or excuse me, Rowdy Tellez. Sorry about that. Big boys at first base. But Rowdy is mic'd up for us today, and he's going to provide a little extra something for us, audio-wise, all day long. Thank you, Rowdy.
It's probably better he's not playing.
You get more commentary.
We'll probably get some good stuff today.
Yeah, no one's going to stand around him, though.
No, but he still can go around other guys, right? he can still chase guys around the dugout.
Can you imagine if Tim Dillard was mic'd up back in the day on the Brewers? You would have walked up to each player and almost done an interview show or something.
No, I'm way too scared playing.
It would be a 3-hour comedy.
Yeah, I hated coming here. There was so much anxiety filled, and now I'm like, oh, yeah, I get to enjoy a ball game.
It's fun. Logan Webb fouls the first pitch from Eric Lauerbach as we start the home third, and we are pleased to be joined right now on YouTube by Kevin Gossman. Kevin, thanks so much for the time. How are you today?
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me, guys.
So let's start with, and we'll have some questions from the YouTubers in a moment. Let's start with your thoughts on yesterday. Of course, wasn't the result for the team in the end, but how did you feel about your performance yesterday?
Yeah, I felt all right. Obviously, I'm always trying to go deeper in the game, but trying to put something together there offensively, and it actually ended up working out. Alex Dickerson came in, pinch hit for me, and hit a double, and then Chris Bryant came up and put a really good swing on the ball and hit a double and scored a run, and we were able to tie it up that inning. So. That's just National League Baseball for you sometimes.
That's right. And Logan Webb goes down on strikes. And actually, speaking of which, let's get our first question in there from a YouTube creator for you, Kevin. Dawson Wright asks, how impressive has it been seeing the emergence of Mr. Webb this season?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Logan Webb is somebody that the last 2 years I've been playing catch with, and to just see the consistency kind of come day in and day out, and just, his confidence level, you can just kind of see it on his face that he shows up to the ballpark and he expects to win. He expects to pitch well. And, for a young pitcher, I think finally when you realize, it doesn't matter who you're facing, if you can execute your pitches, you're going to have success. I think that's a huge learning curve. And, it takes guys a long time, but he's a guy, his pitches move so much that, it's just a matter of, being able to be around the zone enough that guys are going to respect it. And so, if he can get ahead of guys, he's pretty nasty.
Hey, Kevin. Sean Estes here. We got Tim Dillard as well. We were going to be asked a question by someone. I think it was a YouTube question earlier. Fortunately, we didn't get a chance to answer it. But I figured since we had you on the broadcast now, the question was, who has the nastier off-speed stuff, you or Logan Webb?
I would have to say Webby because he has 2 of them. He's got a nasty slider and a nasty changeup, and today he threw a changeup at 90 miles an hour, and it just went straight down. His ability to make a ball move is really impressive, and it's a lot of fun to watch. So I would say him. My split can be really good, but his movement on even on his 2-seam is crazy at times. Watching him throw bullpens, I mean, he's a guy, he can throw a slider that moves 20 inches horizontal and a fastball that moves 20 inches horizontal. And so it's just it's fun to watch him just kind of move around the ball. And he's a guy kind of like Corey Kluber that just the amount of movement that he gets is just impressive.
There he is, and Austin Slater's hooking him up with a couple hits so far today. The only 2 hits we've seen this afternoon come from Austin Slater, a home run on the first pitch you saw in the bottom of the first, and then goes to the vacated right side for a single with 1 out here in the bottom of the third. We're hanging out with Kevin Gossman.
Hey, Kevin, Tim Dillard. Listen, man, you have a starting pitcher, you have a split finger. A lot of times coaches aren't even teaching a split finger anymore. Can you give a little bit of backstory with that? Because I know it's a taxing on the arm thing. And how much do you throw it? I just want to hear the story behind it because I tried it over several years. It's such a tough pitch to master. And then how do you stay healthy with doing it?
Yeah, health-wise, I really don't know why. I think it's because I throw kind of a fosh. I don't throw like an actual true split. It's more fosh-like, and it's actually a lot like Tim Lincecum used to throw. And so I think that wear and tear is maybe not as much, compared to if you're throwing a true split. But yeah, it's a pitch for me. It took me honestly 5 years to really feel comfortable and confident with it, and for it to be consistent. And for me, I was a guy that, I was typical young guy, threw really hard, had no clue where the ball was going. I had a pretty good curveball, for a high school kid, but could never throw a changeup. Was trying to throw a circle changeup, and I actually had my JV pitching coach, Chris Baum, pitched in AAA for a couple different teams, and he was like, "Hey, I threw this. Why don't you try this?" And really, I just kind of stuck with it, and I really didn't feel confident in it until the summer before I went to college. Really, in high school, growing up in Colorado, I didn't really need a changeup, to be honest. It was it just, baseball wasn't very good there, to be honest. And so I got behind guys, and it was throw heaters. I was a sinker baller then, and so a lot of ground balls. But it was a pitch that it's taken a long time. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, and but it's definitely frustrating at times. It kind of had a mind of its own at certain times, and but when it's on, man, it's a lot of fun.
We just saw your teammate Brandon Belt fly out to center. So now 2 on, 2 outs. After the Slater single, we saw Bryant reach. They're calling it an error against the third baseman, Jace Peterson. A couple more minutes here with Kevin Gossman, or hopefully more for your sake. If the Giants can add on here with Darren Ruff digging in, I'll hit you with the hard stuff right now. This is from Austin Kleshka. Hey, Kevin, if you had to choose, would spend a day kayaking in McCovey Cove or head out to Alcatraz and get the full tour experience be your kind of day?
I would say McCovey Cove for sure. That's something that I always think is so cool. It doesn't matter what time the game is, whether it's at 12:45 or 7 o'clock at night. Like, there's somebody out there waiting on a homer, waiting on a splash ball, and so I just think it's really cool. I grew up a Giants fan, and so I just think this place is really unique. And, I actually have a buddy in town right now who was deciding if he was going to do that today. So I'm interested to see if he's maybe out there waiting for one of them. And so, it's definitely something I think that would be really cool to go out there one day and hopefully catch one. That'd be awesome.
Hey, Kevin, Sean again. I don't think people know this about you, but you're having a sneaky good year at the plate, believe it or not. I mean, you haven't had a whole lot of at-bats in your career, but you're hitting almost 200. I mean, I just want to know, how much pride do you take in your hitting? Do you work on it a bunch? I mean, you're not an out. Not to say that you would have gone off the wall like Dickerson did when he pinch hit for you last night, but I'm saying you're not an out.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I just try to get in the cage every day and just kind of see pitches. You know, we have this machine in there that really kind of Tommy LaStella brought to spring training, and they got these like foam balls, and you know, the movement on them is crazy. And you know, with guys' stuff nowadays, it's I feel like getting in there every day and just seeing, you know, nasty pitches, seeing rising fastballs, sinkers, and cutters, and you know, whatever pitch a guy throws, they can put it together and make it, you know, make it resemble it. And so going in there and butting off that, I think definitely helps, you know, and just helps your confidence up there. But, you know, it's definitely still a lot of luck. And, you know, sometimes eyes are closed when you're swinging. But, you know, you try to do something while you're up there.
It's working for you. Keep it up. Kevin, thank you so much,
Kevin.
as always,
Thanks,
for
guys.
the time. Good luck for the rest of the way. 1-0 Giants after 3. We'll be right back.
Make fun of me with my ball glove. Heart is palpitating.
But just tell us, baby, how do you feel about this young talent? You have a lot of Dominican kids.
He's got to go hit. He's up next.
You got to go. He's got to hit. He's on deck.
This is before the inning, and Bo Bichette all of a sudden, something bit him. Might have gotten a bee sting or something just before this half inning began, and he's still kind of looking.
Yeah, it's probably a big surprise. You stand out there and all of a sudden you feel something that bit him.
Stays alive.
You just never know with Votto as he races Jim Wolf.
But in the home run jacket, you can't fit it on. How long do you have to wear that thing? I think you should have to play defense with it for a half an inning.
Zamala's going to try to make third, and a good read here.
Well, wasn't graceful, but it sure was effective. He's having an adventure sometime.
He had no balance anymore, like a weeble. It was crazy, right?
I mean, does it get any better than that? That's our view. The MLB Game of the Week live on YouTube is presented by State Farm. It's the first place Milwaukee Brewers in the National League Central matching up with the second place San Francisco Giants in the NL West. Logan Webb back to work, top of the order for Milwaukee. It's Colton Wong. 9 up, 9 down so far for Mr. Webb. No fly ball outs yet from Milwaukee. No lift from a team that does plenty of it.
Tough to lift a good sinker. Dilly had one. You tell him about that sinker. It's tough to get up in the air.
Yeah, we're spot on right now. You with the ground balls, me with the pop flies.
If you listen to these guys, you'll learn something, I think.
We had this conversation yesterday, but talked to Bill about the sinker and the inability to lift that with launch angle like all the hitters have been doing lately.
And Wong is down on strikes. Logan Webb's 5th punch out already this afternoon. Amy G, Logan Webb is looking good.
He is, and I get to add on to the love fest for Logan Webb. Another Giant so impressed with Logan. Buster Posey. I actually hosted a Q&A with Buster yesterday, you guys, and it was all kids. And kids asked the best questions. And so the question was, who do you like catching the most? And Buster said Logan Webb. He's loved his story. You know, he said he had a great spring training. Then he dealt with an injury. And since he's come back, he's just simply been on fire. And Buster just said it's so fun to watch a pitcher start to believe in himself and then the results that start to show up on the field. Tim and Shawnee, I don't know if you guys remember that moment that you had in your career where you felt like you turned a corner and really started to believe in your stuff.
Yeah, that's
Still
a good
waiting
point.
for it.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. That's why I'm up here, you know.
I was waiting for one of those. Tim, He's got the lines.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's all I got. No, it's very important when you reach that moment and kind of figure out what kind of player you are. And I can see that. I was drafted twice as a catcher, and when you see somebody that has that light bulb go off, it is fun. It should be fun to catch these guys. It's like playing a video game in real life.
Urias into the corner, and that is going to punch off the wall and turn into a stand-up double. A one-out double for Urias.
Well, that was an interesting at-bat right there. He hits the ball hard. It's out over the plate, 93 away, hits it the other way, and I thought off the bat it was going to be foul. He kind of just looked at it. Slater just looked at it, and all of a sudden maybe he thought he got it all. I don't know. It's
I don't think so.
Short porch in right field. That hits off the bricks. Slater almost makes a good play, turns around. He had a chance at second base had he fielded it cleanly.
I think he might have thought it was going to be foul. It kind of off the bat, it just looked like he couldn't pick it up right away and then had to make up for it with the legs. But maybe it's those wind gusts you were talking about earlier.
Christian Yelich takes one in tight.
No, this will be interesting to see because Logan Webb had such a good rhythm working out of the windup. Now this is his first shot in the stretch, and you already saw his worst pitch of the day, location-wise, to Christian Yelich. Let's see if he can get it back, get that release point out of the stretch down. I always felt it was tougher with a guy in second base the first time you're out of the stretch than at first. You're so used to looking over the left shoulder, especially for a right-hander. But when you get a guy on second base, you're looking over the other shoulder. Can mess with your timing a little bit and your release point. Sometimes you can be a little bit too quick to home plate. And that's what we're seeing right here in the first two pitches to Yelich.
It's always interesting when you're in spring training, they harp on it big time and you kind of lose focus during a baseball season, but pitchers have to work on that. As ridiculous as you feel sometimes in a bullpen where it's just you and the catcher and the coach, and you have to look over your right shoulder at like a wall that's behind you, and you come set because you have to work on the timing. You have to work on what's going on around you. You can't just be working with the catcher and what you're trying to do with your craft. So yeah, if you don't practice it in the bullpen, the game speeds up on you.
And yes, Sports Gaming Universe in the commentary section who said, are we going to be on alert for Webb today for that thing that shall not be spoken about? Yes, that's the first hit of the day for the Brew Crew. That thing is a no-no. He did it through 3 innings, and now a 4-pitch free pass for Christian Yelich to fill up first base.
Yeah, a couple things you look for in starting pitchers, especially if they get a nice rhythm early in the game and they don't give up a hit the first time, is how they're going to do the second time through the order or when somebody gets on base. And we saw the first example of that. Guy gets on base and he loses his feel for the strike zone. Let's see how quick it takes for him to get it back. Unfortunately for him, he's going to have to face the middle part of the lineup. He's going to have to navigate through them. And you still have to make pitches. That's the thing. That's what's tough about pitching. You can't make mistakes. You can't just say, here, hit it. You still have to continue to make your pitches.
I know it's only the 4th, but with 2 teams that know how to pitch, this is one of the marquee matchups right now. Abisail Garcia watches one sail inside. Garcia has a few at-bats in his career against Webb, but one of them was a home run. You can see he's been delivering with runners in scoring position. He's been one of their best all-around players, and he's kicked it into another gear since the month of July.
That home run came when they faced off in Milwaukee, and it was on a slider, and it wasn't a bad slider. We actually looked at it over and over again. He was just looking for it because his kryptonite for a while was just swinging at sliders away, and it caught just enough plate for him to get it. It was a good piece of hitting by Garcia, but you go back to the first at bat where he struck out, it was a fastball up. So pitchers remember, they know who's in the box.
Yeah, and it wasn't too long ago, about a month ago, Webb faced Garcia and the Brewers. Cut and a miss. It's a ball and 2 strikes.
Well, I look at it, it took him about 5 pitches to get that release point out of the stretch down, and right there with a huge pitch right there in a 1-1 count. I believe that was a changeup. It could have been his slide. No, it's a changeup there. That was nasty. Bottom just fell out of it, and he's one of those guys too that he'll throw his changeup not just to lefties. Typically you see a lot of right-handers throw the changeup to lefties, slider to right. Now he'll throw his changeup to righties as well.
That's just evil. righty on righty combo is just wrong.
I'll tell you what, man, it was the same thing. I was a lefty, but I faced a lot, when I faced a lefty, they just didn't see a lot of lefty on lefty changeup. So as I got later on in my career, I started throwing that pitch. And I get a lot of, look backs after the swing and miss. Like, what are you doing throwing me a changeup? That doesn't happen.
Explain yourself, sir. Yeah.
No call there. Angel Hernandez calling balls and strikes this afternoon. That missed in. We've got the vantage point.
Yeah, you see Casali setting up away. He wants him to finish it out front, finish that pitch down and away. Got a little quick with the front side. That happens from time to time. Flattens out, even backs up a little bit on you, right, as we saw right there with the slider. Didn't quite catch the inside corner.
Urias and Yelich are on for Garcia. 2-2 on its way. Got him. 6 strikeouts already for Logan Webb. That was a big one.
And that might have been his best sinker. And he's thrown a bunch of good ones so far this game. That might have been his best sinker of the day. That was 94, started down the middle part of the plate, went down and in. Garcia swings over the top of it, and had he made contact with that pitch, Dilly, it probably would have been a 6-4-3 or a 5-4-3 double play.
Straight up got him on the movement. I mean, he can hit a fastball. That's his MO. That's why he sees a lot of off-speed stuff. But that worked because of that amazing changeup he threw 2 pitches before.
Slow him down, speed him up. That's pitching 101 right there. Keep him in that rocking chair.
On to Jace Peterson. Jace struck out first time around. In game 1 of this series, Peterson was 3 for 3 with a walk. Clutch City last night as well. 2 out, 2 strike RBI single made it 3-2. That was the go-ahead run. Just lofts one into shallow center. It's going to drop, and Urias is on his way home. The throw's going to catch Yelich in between second and third, but the Brewers do get a run. Yelich still on the run. Crawford is going to make the tag for the out to end the inning, but the Brewers get their first run of the day. Jace Peterson, a little bloop RBI knock. It scores Urias. 1 per side now as Logan Webb is shaking his head and saying a few things that might not be safe for YouTube.
If you're one of the thousands who follow Willy Adames on Instagram, you may be wondering, what's with the hashtag?
When you get to this level, sometimes, things change, like you get a new car, you get a big house, and sometimes, you get to your head.
Long ago, Adames decided he wouldn't let it get in his head. As a 17-year-old in the Dominican Summer League, he first posted, "No book bag." That was in 2013.
No book bag.
It's a loosely translated Spanish phrase.
No bulto.
And Adames says it reminds him to stay humble, never boast, and remember where he came from, which was a small town in the Dominican Republic where he had loving parents, but not much else.
That's what makes me appreciate this. God gave me this opportunity. I got to give it to others.
Willy Adames loves life and lives it with humility and is surrounded by family and friends who wouldn't have it any other way.
Oh, my God. They smacked me in my face, probably.
The Brewers tie it up at 1 in the top of the 4th. Now we reach the bottom of the inning. And Tim, also, by the way, you have permission to leave us for a little and do whatever that guy was doing on the bay. That was awesome.
I'm in. Let's go.
Here's how we finished up the last half inning. Christian Yelich caught between second and third, but the run does come across for Milwaukee. Urias scores, RBI knock for Jace Peterson. It's 1 apiece, and Eric Lauer's back on the mound here to pitch in the home 4th against Estrada, Crawford, and Casali. What was that? He was gliding on a motorized surfboard? I don't know.
I wish I could say I saw it. I might have been able to help you out if I'd seen it. But, yeah, there's some crazy things you'll see out of the bay. You see enough games here, you're going to see a bunch of stuff going on out there. Oh, there he is.
Thank
That's
you,
a
crew.
first. That is
What
a
is
first.
that?
Yeah, nothing surprises me in San Francisco, but that's a first. I haven't seen that
So
one.
nothing was pulling that guy on that thing? He was just by himself?
It's got to be a motor underneath
Yeah. Maybe the YouTube creators in the commentary section can hook us up with an explanation there. Someone Google it and help us out. That was cool.
You can say Google, right? You told me that. That was
for
okay.
sure. Yeah.
See, Sean missed it because he was too busy writing down what that play was. What was that play?
Well, Jace Peterson's single RBI, 8-5-4-5-6. One more throw, I run out of room on my scorecard.
8-5-4-5-6. That's my locker combination.
Yeah, that's your zip code,
yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Estrada sends a fly ball to center. Jackie Bradley Jr. backs up a bit and hauls it in.
Yeah, Peterson coming up clutch again last inning, 2-out RBI.
The guy is just a good ball player. That was what was interesting. So we're in the dugout with Craig Counsell before the game because we're allowed to have a 3-on-1 interview with him. And that's the only question I asked, I think, except for why didn't you ever bring me up in 2015 and 16? But no, I asked him.
You didn't answer that one, but
he
didn't.
Go ahead. Yeah, he pushed it aside. But yeah, he said that Peterson. I asked him, what's the player that's most like you on this team? And the right Anderson. He got the right answer on that. It was Peterson. He just is such a good ball player. He's so prepared. It's just really cool to see a guy that I played with, Craig Counsell, looking at this other guy going, this is how I was, and this is what we did, and that's what good teams need.
Yeah, Peterson plays all over the place. He's just a grinder. That's what you love about guys like that. You wish you had a whole club of them. They're not all built from the same cloth. But you have to have, like you mentioned, guys like that on your team that show up every day. They want to play. They want to be in the lineup. They'll play wherever you put them wherever you want in the lineup. And then they get it done.
Crawford pulls one into the shift. Wong puts him away. Yeah, and think about October baseball at this point. If you're a Brewers fan, you know you're going to be there. Jace Peterson off the bench for a big AB late in the game. Yeah, it could be a clutch knock, but he also spits at pitches. And if you need someone to get on base to kind of pass the baton, he is definitely going to help fill the void there for a bench player.
Now we asked Counsell what's his biggest concerns, and bench wasn't one of them.
Casale pops one up. Here comes Garcia for it. There we go again. Pitching has been supreme so far today. After 4 innings, Lauer's given up 1 run, so has Webb. We sail into the 5th.
Swinging a soft liner, base hit to the left center. A run's going to score, and the Brewers have the lead.
He's a very good baseball announcer. And if you listen to Bob for 5 or 6 minutes, you want him to say something that's going to make you laugh.
As Driscoll makes the proper call, defensive indifference. Or as we call it and score it, who cares?
Bob has had this wonderful ability to give you the game and then bang.
That's where Major League 3 was filmed. Is that right? Yes. I haven't seen it. Don't. That thing was so bad it was on airplanes the day we finished it.
He's very funny on the air, but he is just an exceptionally good broadcaster.
Swinging a looping liner, base hit to right center. 1 run is in. They're going to try to score Lucroy. Here's the throw. He's in there.
You really feel the game through him. And while certainly he's a Brewer broadcaster, so in that sense he's a homer, he's not a mindless homer. He'll give you a fair call of the game.
Morgan, a smash up the middle, base hit to center. Here comes Gomez, around third, a throw, and the Brewers win.
All right, well, they say that champions are won with pitching. Championships are won with pitching and defense. So who's got some great pitching staffs? We're looking at one today with the Brewers, and you know who's really into that? Joey Votto. He actually said, I'm just gonna say it out loud. Personally, I think this is the best group of pitchers. Of course, he's talking about the Brewers I faced in my career. I was a part of the team that faced the 2010 Phillies with the late Roy Halladay, Cliff Lee, Roy Oswalt, and Cole Hamels. On the whole, the entire collection of Brewers pitchers,
This has been the toughest matchup I've ever come across in my career. So now we have a poll question for everyone. Which team's top 3 are the scariest in a postseason series? You know what Joey Votto thinks. I think Kapler might agree, saying earlier today that the Brewers have one of the best, if not the best, pitching staffs in baseball. Gentlemen?
Thank you, Amy G. I mean, that's a tough choice, though, even still, when you look at the competition for them, even in the National League. And you can vote. And yes, I'm going to ask my friends here to help us out first. Vogelbach takes the pitch upstairs from Logan Webb. It's 1-1. I mean, the Dodgers have a pretty nice looking rotation as well. Buehler's a Cy Young candidate. So is Max Scherzer. Kershaw's going to come back at some point. Urias is outstanding. White Sox have something special. Okay, Tim, you first. Have fun. Which starting staff top 3 is the scariest?
Yeah, right. I mean, I think I'm kind of a Brewer employee, so I think I have to go Brewers, but I've seen them day in and day out. And they are, it's truly special. You're going back to Zito, Hudson, Mulder of the A's back in the day, and that's what it is. You have 3 guys that are having career years that are all-stars. I mean, do the other teams, all 3 of the starters are talking about, are they all-stars? I'm asking for a friend. I don't know.
Yeah, I can help to answer that one. I know not for San Francisco. For the Dodgers, Scherzer, yes. Buehler, I believe so.
Yes.
Buehler.
I don't think Urias was an all-star.
No.
Okay,
Buehler.
So let's move to the next team. White Sox. I mean, hey, you want me to do the homework? We have research help, too, in a moment. There's Vogelbach flying out to center. 1 gone. Here we go. This helps. Thank you. For the White Sox, Lynn Rodon Giolito. I think Giolito was not an all-star this year. So I think yes, I'm getting confirmation as we go. I'm talking through it. And Tim Dillard giving me a pop quiz. And the answer is the Brewers have the big 3 that are all all-stars this year.
Yeah, pop quiz, hot shot. Yeah, I didn't know they were going to throw a graphic in there. That's my bad. I was more. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. I mean, I'm a Giant employee, and I'm going to still pick the Brewers. I mean, it's really tough to beat those 3. Now, had Trevor Bauer been pitching still, or maybe even Kershaw, I may go with the Dodgers, just experience level, postseason, the defending champs with Scherzer, Buehler, and either Kershaw or Bauer. That would be those 3 would be tough to beat. But right now, it's nothing against Urias, but that 3-headed monster of Woodruff, Burns, and Peralta is as good as it gets. And matter of fact, we got some notes on that. In the last 40 seasons, sub 2.5 ERAs by 3 teammates. Burns, Woodruff, and Peralta all under 2.5. The last time it happened, Earl Hershiser, Bobby Welch, and Fernando Valenzuela, the 85 Dodgers. So that just goes to show you how good they are. And being in San Francisco for the last 11 years, covering this team, Bumgarner, Kane, and Lincecum were a pretty good trio as well. And they won some World Series together, if I remember right.
Yep, they did.
I think there's some signs on the wall out there, man.
Yeah. There's a few. Freddie Peralta, by the way, has been on the injured list with a little shoulder issue, but he is back tomorrow for Milwaukee. Perfect timing. Bradley doesn't bite. It's 2-2.
Well, we can talk all we want of our opinion. We're up here in this nice little booth, got a little cup holder for my coffee. So, it's all about what the peers say. So you're going off Joey Votto. Chris Bryant the other day after facing Corbin Burns was saying he got out of Chicago so he wouldn't have to face him anymore. And he's already faced him twice since he's been with the Giants.
Yeah, KB's like, can I not see them? Or at least until the NLCS, which certainly could be a preview that we're viewing this week. Logan Webb is absolutely on fire with the swing and miss.
That's a change up there, and Bradley Jr.'s thinking the same thing. Do I have to face Logan Webb again in this game?
He's already punched out 7. 15 whiffs for Webb. 1 shy of his career high of 16, and we're only in the 5th, and he's had 60 tosses.
That's just nasty. Sinker. This is a big game for Logan Webb and for a lot of reasons. He's been pitching so well, maybe the best pitcher in the last 3 months of the season in the big leagues, but the team's on a 4-game losing streak. They haven't won since he took the mound last. And to elevate yourself into ace status, this is the type of game you got to go out there and put your team on your back. You have to say, okay, boys, that's enough. I'm going to go out. I'm going to dominate.
Maile clocks one to left field, and he finds some open space. He's going to truck to second. Luke Maile sends a ball all the way into the left field corner. It's a 2-out double here in the 5th.
And right on cue, he gives up a double. But with that being said, there's 2 outs. Those 2-out hits with the pitcher on deck usually aren't going to hurt you that often. But yeah, he just, this is a big game. He understands that, they need him today. They need him to go out there and keep his team in the game. And he's doing just that so far.
Well, talking to Gabe Kapler before the game, asking him about the future, and he was all worried about today. He was like, we're only worried about winning today. And so he felt confident with the lineup that he put out there, the defense. Sure, he'd like some of those guys that are on the injured list, but I mean, who wouldn't? Every team wants their guys all healthy, but he feels confident in what Logan Webb can do and what he's doing in this game.
He chuckled when we discussed the fact that you could save a pitcher like Webb for the next series, which is a big one. And there's another whiff, by the way. That's now a career high 17 for Logan Webb. Whiff is swing and miss, and we're seeing a ton of it. But Kapler said, yeah, we're going to try and win today's game. I know it's the Dodgers, and they just passed us for first place in the NL West, but they'll worry about LA tomorrow. Last few games against them for the season come this weekend. There's another whiff.
This keeps adding to that record. I'm sure this won't stand at some point in his career either. Now, he's got a lot of years to pitch, but he's been awfully impressive today with a 3-pitch combination that is as good as I've seen this year. And I know we're only in the 5th inning, but I thought his last game in Atlanta, which is as good as he could pitch, and today he might surpass that.
He's got Lauer in a 1-2 hole. Even if you strike out, if you're Eric Lauer right now, this is a win. I mean, you've at least driven up the pitch count a little bit.
Yeah, Dill, you've seen Lauer in the box this year a few times. He looks like he can swing it a little bit, huh?
Yeah, he's comfortable. He's had some sack bunts. He knows how to swing the bat. They work on batting practice.
Frozen, make it. Logan Webb's baffling everyone right now, even the broadcasters. 8 strikeouts this afternoon for Mr. Webb, trying to wipe away this losing skid for the Giants.
On September 2nd, 1990, the Blue Jays' Dave Stieb was 1 out away from a no-hitter. As he got ready to face Jerry Brown of the Indians, you could understand if Stieb was thinking to himself, not again. You see, Dave Stieb had pitched 5 one-hitters in his career already, including 3 in 1988, and 2 of those were particularly heartbreaking. In back-to-back September starts, Stieb had gotten 2 outs in the 9th inning with a no-hitter intact, only to lose it. So there was the Toronto right-hander on the mound, 1 out away again. And with Jerry Brown at the plate, Dave Stieb's run of 9th inning disappointments finally ended.
He has got a no-hitter for Dave Stieb. The long frustration is finally over.
This is a moment you'll never, ever forget.
That's right, Fergie, I won't.
And you've had 5 cracks at it. You got it.
That many?
It was the first and only no-hitter in Toronto Blue Jays history. And after 5 one-hitters, Dave Stieb finally had his no-hitter.
Spotlight time, and today we shine the light on Dawson Wright, who actually asked a question for Kevin Gossman earlier, saying how impressive has Logan Webb been, but Mr. Wright is balling with those shades. He makes baseball video essays on a multitude of topics, including current MLB events, team building analysis, legendary stories from baseball history. Today's really his day. I know he's got the Angels uniform, but he's a Giants fan. His favorite memory is the 14 World Series, close to 12 million views. Dawson, thanks for hanging out with us today. And same with Amy G. It's a pleasure to have you on today, Amy. What do you have for us on Mauricio Dubon, who's about to dig in?
Yeah, he's going to step into the box, and it's the first time he's going to step into the box with this club on a major league roster since June 28th. He's been down working on his craft with the AAA Sacramento Giants, and I asked Gabe Kapler what he's liked about the reports that he's getting on Dubon. He mentioned that he's improved his chase percentage. He's also improved his swing percentage, meaning he's swinging less at bad pitches, and he's mostly, gentlemen, been playing shortstop. Of course, today he's in center field, but Gabe Kapler was getting reports that Mauricio has put in a ton of work in his downtime on the other positions that he plays because he is a utility player. Gabe very impressed overall with the stretch that Dubon has had in AAA, really looking for Dubon to be a shot in the arm for this offense today. Gentlemen?
Thanks, Amy. 333 in 46 games at AAA since last playing in MLB in late July, like you mentioned. And these first two pitches are actually a perfect example, Sean. He takes the first two, they're pretty close, and earlier in his career, he thought he could swing at anything, super athlete, but we're seeing the patience progress.
And that's what they need to see. That's how this lineup is built. They like guys that swing at strikes, like guys that don't chase a lot. They like guys that try to do damage with pitches in the strike zone. And that wasn't the case on a consistent basis when he was up with the Giants the first couple months of the season. And so we'll have to see moving forward. This is our first chance to see him since he's been recalled. We'll have to see if that work he put down in Sacramento has paid off.
He flew out to right in the second inning. He's watched 4 pitches, swings at that one, and rides up a full count. He's up for Wilmer Flores, who left yesterday's game early, and they're calling it a grade 1 left hamstring strain. He's on the 10-day injured list. Lauer coming off a 1-2-3 fourth inning. Didn't you love that, Tim? You're all ready to go. Payoff pitch, and then hold up. Let me fix these batting gloves.
Yeah.
Okay, they're better.
They're shifting on me. Yeah. I always find it interesting when the umpire calls time and points at who called the time. Don't be mad at me. Be mad at this guy.
And he rings him up. Pitcher's call for Eric Lauer, and I'm sure the Giants brass would say, okay, we'll take that, AB.
Absolutely. He saw 6 pitches, and it was a ball. He should have been on first base. Lauer gets the benefit of the call right there, but a nice at bat by Mauricio Dubon, and I know the end result wasn't what he wanted it to be, but as you can see right there, a couple inches off the plate in.
Well, the reason it was in full count, the first 2 pitches at the top of the zone were actually pretty good. So I'm wondering if there's a conversation going back there like, you know, Angel Hernandez, hey, mate, I missed those, but I'll give it, yeah, doubtful.
Well, no, because the first pitch to Logan Webb was better than the last pitch to Dubon.
Yeah, there you go.
He threw one a half an inch inside, and he got ball. Logan was like, "Why? I'll take the strike. You give Mauricio the ball."
There's a strike.
But if you see, I mean, you can tell. I mean, Angel Hernandez has been around a long time. When a pitcher is around the strike zone consistently, you're going to get the benefit of some calls that are off the plate. That's just fact.
It's 3-1 to Webb.
When you get the umpire in wanting to call a strike mode, like you've seen with Logan Webb in the first 5 innings of this game, you're going to get some borderline pitches.
Bouncing ball to short. Arias makes the play. 2 down in the 5th. All season long on the MLB Game of the Week, we've given our viewers the power to vote for which standout performer is going to receive this gorgeous YouTube Player of the Game trophy. That was Mr. Walkoff from last week, Jake Myers in Houston. So stay tuned. Later on, we'll do the poll just like we've been doing throughout the day already. And we're going to hand out some hardware in our post-game show immediately following the end of the game. We'll have a couple interviews coming up. 30 minutes dedicated to the Brewers and the Giants after this one concludes.
So there's really a trophy? I read that on the little format thing.
It's already downstairs on the field.
Oh.
And then it gets even better. You would have loved this because sometimes there can be some monotony in a season as Austin Slater watches a strike on the outside corner with 2 gone in the 5th. Not only do you win a trophy, but they engrave your name on it. Brandon Crawford won when we did the Giants and Reds last time around. It was a big offensive performance for the Giants a few months back, and I think he was joking about it with Amy G. We'll see if we can bring in Amy for a little more on that YouTube trophy in a moment.
Didn't they score like 18 runs that game?
Something like that. I know it was a high total.
Yeah, it was.
Everyone gets a trophy, right? Yeah. Were you,
Team trophy.
You get one too. Yeah.
Little nubber. And Lauer actually falls back, but makes the fadeaway throw in time. We'll see if he's okay.
It looks like he's okay, but it looked like Sniper got him right there. He went to turn and throw, and then like all of a sudden a cleat stuck or something, and he fell backwards.
I was thinking, is that the good old-fashioned NBA flop? Did someone push him?
There's no one there to call a foul.
Oh, right ankle, little slip. Throw is money.
That was money. That was right on the money. Falling back. Oh yeah, little hyperextension ankle. Going down, sidearm right on the bag. It's a good play.
So we'll make sure he's okay and ready to go for the next inning because Eric Lauer is suddenly on some kind of roll right now. He has retired 8 in a row. It's 1 per side after 5.
Sammy Long goes after the first pitch and flips a hit into left center field. Congratulations, Sammy Long's got a big league knock. Hits that one pretty well out to left center. Yastrzemski's going to run it down. Logan Webb, 7 strong tonight in Atlanta.
Crawford whacks one down the right field line toward the corner. That's a base hit up against the wall. It ricochets away from Conforto. Coming around third is Bryant. He scores. Dickerson's heading home. The relay, safe! And the Giants have gone ahead on 1 pitch from the bullpen.
1-1 on the ground, and nobody's there. Into right field, base hit. Pilar up with the ball. Here comes Yastrzemski. The throw is offline. It goes right over the catcher. So Darren Ruff goes to second. The Giants have gone ahead 3-2. Well, hits that one to center field. Nimmo all the way back, and he's going to watch it. It is gone off the apple.
2-1 the count. Bell, deep left, and that ball is gone.
That's not a home run, but it is a tough play. Lindor not in time.
4-hit night.
Google Cloud is helping to power StatCast with massive amounts of data points to reveal new insights, taking you deeper into the game than ever before. Google Cloud is the official cloud technology of Major League Baseball. There's a miss from Webb to Colton Wong. 3rd time through the order. Now we're in the 6th. That's pitch number 70, and that's in there. Scott Braun, Sean Estes, Tim Dillard, and Amy G with you this afternoon. Wong searching for his first hit today. And he will not find it there. Brandon Belt will handle things himself.
Another ball on the ground. That's 6 ground ball outs for Logan Webb today to go along with 8 strikeouts. So that's 14 of the 15 outs have been via strikeout or ground ball. So kind of as advertised for Logan Webb. And you always kind of look for the 3rd time through the lineup as well. First time they were 0 for 9. 2nd time through they were 3 for 8 with the walk. So we'll have to see how he navigates this lineup the 3rd time through the order.
And we'll keep an eye on Eric Lauer. Made a funny step at the end of his half. Still made the play. We'll see if his ankle's okay. They'd love to get another couple innings out of him, especially after Brett Anderson had to leave the game early yesterday after just 2 innings. a comebacker, went off his shoulder. They placed him on the 10-day injured list, and the bullpen had to cover 7 innings yesterday.
And Freddie Peralta coming back tomorrow. He's not going to be on a very long leash after not pitching for a couple weeks, so they're probably not going to get a lot of length out of him as well.
Urias in the air, shallow right. Here comes Slater. 2 down. Hello again, Amy G.
Hey, Scott, I just wanted to add on to what you said about Brandon Crawford winning that trophy, the
Yes.
YouTube Player of the Game. He did. I don't know if he was joking about it. I mean, maybe he was dead serious, but he said he's got 3 Gold Glove trophies, and he was going to scoot them all over to put the YouTube trophy right there front and center. Although it weighs, I mean, over under like 12 pounds.
Yeah.
So you're going to need to put, you know, find the studs in the wall. That's all. That's my advice.
You can do some workout programs with that. I saw Gabe Kapler wearing the Dingers and Deadlifts shirt today. There's Yelich with a bouncing ball to Estrada. Well, you can do a nice little workout with the YouTube trophy. And Brandon Crawford wants another. We'll see if he helps his team out on offense as Logan Webb with another shutdown inning. 1-1, mid-6.
Swing and a miss, and there's your first out. 3-2 on the way, and there's another strikeout for Josh Hader. 1-2 on the way, strike 3, game over. He's got his mound opponent in a 1-2 count, and down he goes. Number 10 for Brandon Woodruff. And this one crushed all the way back. Upper deck. A 3-run, 2-out home run for Rowdy Tellez. Number 11 on the season. And it's 4-0 Milwaukee. 1-2 pitch in the air left center. That'll get it done. Wong's going to tag. Aquino's throw comes in. Cut off, and we are tied. And he pulls one right field. That is down fair. In to score Peterson. 5-4 Milwaukee. Fly ball into right field, hit well. Garcia back at the track. He leaps and he makes the catch. Hey! Avi Garcia pulls a home run back.
There you go. Eric Lauer is good to go for the bottom of the 6th, and his teammate Rowdy Tellez is our guy mic'd up today.
Got our mic today. Hey, Lolo, watch out.
I already told him. Dude, Willie gets mic'd and doesn't tell nobody and then tries to sneak attack some stuff. Shut up, Willie.
They put that thing there.
Willie, shut up. It's Willie's birthday.
Where's the camera?
I don't know what camera we're looking at, but probably up there.
Hey, it's my birthday today, dog.
It's his birthday, so.
Thank you.
Please cumpleaños.
Hey, happy birthday, Willie Adames. Milwaukee, they love you out there. Thank you, Rowdy. I feel like we don't just have Rowdy Tellez mic'd up. We have Willie Adames mic'd up. He knows where the mic is at all time. Let's send it over to Amy G.
Yeah, well, the other thing about Rowdy Tellez, guys, a die-hard Giants fan growing up. He's from the Sacramento area. I got some time with him the other day. He said his very first baseball game was at Candlestick. So those of us from this area, we know he was freezing for sure. He is a Giants fan because his dad grew up in San Francisco. He spent many of Father's Day, Mother's Day holiday here at the Yard. He said his dad would take him out of school early to get to a game. Don't worry, we won't tell anyone. He loves Kruk and Kipe, and he said that he attended at least one game of the 10, 12, and 14 World Series. I had to ask who his favorite Giant was. I'm so sorry, Sean, it's not you. It was JT Snow, and of course, he loves Barry Bonds, guys.
That's awesome. Chris Bryant takes a pitch wide. It's a ball and a strike. And I heard a story the other day from Ken Rosenthal that in 2014, he was in instructional league with the Blue Jays, and he said, I have to leave a little bit early. I have a family hunting trip. But actually, before that, he went to a game, a Giants World Series contest. So he just forgot to include that bit of info. Sorry, guys, I need to leave early. Family time and Giants time.
Yeah, I can tell you, though, in the last 3 games, he hasn't been a big Giant fan.
Mm-mm.
But it's kind of cool. There's a lot of guys come out of Sacramento area in the big leagues right now, especially at his high school, Elk Grove, where Dylan Carlson's dad's the coach.
Bryant sends one to center. And Jackie Bradley Jr. commanding the outfield today. There's a ton of alums. Elk Grove, right?
Elk Grove, yeah. Well,
it's about 100 miles
Logan
from here.
Webb pitching today. He's from Sacramento, not from Elk Grove High School, from a different high school, and I think maybe Rockland or high school. But yeah, there's a ton of Sacramento big league products. It's a hotbed for baseball.
Ground out, fly out for Belt. On base 35% of the time this year. He's at a career high 20 home runs. This is his 11th season in the big leagues. We're looking at the back of the baseball card for Brandon Belt going, wait, 11 years in the bigs, got a sweet swing, big pop. He's never been at 20? No, between some injury-filled seasons and also the fact that he plays in one of the more cozy pitchers parks. You can see the big difference for him this year is the breaking ball. All of a sudden, he's just nailing breaking pitches. I mean, you wonder how a change is made so late in your career to be able to do that. Is he, you know, messing around with a pitching machine that's throwing breakers at him?
Now, he's actually always been pretty good down in the zone.
And slices his bat in half and goes to left and drops a base hit.
And a fastball down in the zone. That's where you give him a chance. And even though he did break his bat, it allows him to get the barrel of the bat to this baseball. If you watch Eric Lauer, it's down and away. It's not, you have to go Belt and up with Brandon Belt to get him out. But it's tough to execute that pitch every time. Now, you could probably throw Belt high top with his own fastballs, and the best he's going to do is pop it up. But if you miss down in the zone, that's what he's waiting for, and he usually does a lot of damage. Now with the off-speed stuff, he's been hitting a lot of home runs against the off-speed stuff down slow. But that's kind of been his MO his whole career, and it does blow your mind to think he's never hit 20 home runs with much power as he has. Now, to his defense, he's playing in a ballpark where he hits a lot of balls out to right center in visiting ballparks. Here, Triples Alley, it's a long way out there. He's been a victim of Triples Alley probably more times than anybody in a Giant uniform.
And that's skied by Ruff. Bradley Jr. measures out number 2. Let's finish up that last poll that we unveiled about an inning ago. Top 3 starters, scariest in a postseason series. The Brewers take it. It was close with their division rival, 45-35. That's fair. Brewers fans weighing in big today.
I mean, the more I see of this Brewer team, the more I like them. The more I feel like they're just balanced. They have such good starting pitching, as we've talked about. Great bullpen, great defense, great bench. Offense scores enough runs.
Tyro Estrada to the first pitch, center field. Bradley Jr. getting a lot of good work out there. Yeah, Craig Counsell's club is serious. They've taken the first 3 in this series. That wraps up today, still tied at 1.
For San Francisco Bay. It is whack. 5-3 Giants. Lamont Wade Jr.
And there's Lamont Wade mother, Emily.
So the fans, everybody standing now. Well, the Giants have been playing catch up all night long. There's a high drive to right. Is it fair? Down the line. It is caught. Grand slam into the water. Can you believe it? And they all score, including the man who hit the ball. The Giants have come from 7-0 behind, and Yastrzemski has put them ahead.
Get ready for this. Listen to MLB's podcast to hear the latest analysis from insiders across the league and exclusive in-depth interviews with baseball's biggest stars. Subscribe now at MLB.com/podcasts. And,
well, the MLB Ballpark app, of course, will complete your next visit to the ballpark. Buy and manage game tickets, redeem offers, access exclusive content, and much more. Download the Ballpark app today. Do it.
Nailed
do
it.
Dilly, do it.
That was good. I didn't get one of those pieces of paper to
Dilly.
read. Got to plug something else.
Your time will come. Fouled off the end of the bat of Avisail Garcia. That was perfect, Sean. You know, we haven't done that on YouTube, but I felt like today was the day. I just feel very cozy and comfortable with my friends here, Sean Estes and Tim Dillard, having a good time.
I can't wait for Dilly's read. It's going to be epic.
I mean, I can read pretty decent. I mean, like, that's not the hardest thing for me, but I tell you what, we need to talk about Lauer after that play the inning before last, and then coming back out throwing a 10-pitch inning.
Well, he had enough rest. I think he was in the clubhouse for a good 20 minutes after that. No, we didn't get to see it, but we were waiting for Lauer to take the mound. I'm wondering if he went in there and got taped up.
Didn't have time. Logan Webb threw a 7-pitch inning, so that's what they're doing. They're doing tit for tat, back and forth, and yeah, I wonder if he did get taped up, but he looked good. Everything looked the same.
Did not look, yeah, didn't miss a beat.
This is a good old-fashioned pitching matchup. And I say that not just because of the score, but because of the way they've been economical. There's Logan Webb just not wasting pitches. It's his 9th strikeout. It's 1-1 in the 7th, and Rowdy Tellez has more for us. In a moment. Rowdy's mic'd up.
We're waiting for Rowdy to actually
Rowdy,
say something.
Come on.
Yeah, Rowdy's not being rowdy.
Say something. So that's 9 on the day for Webb. He pumps another strike.
He's mellow Rowdy right now. That's the hat trick for Garcia, by the way.
Yeah.
And
so Jace Peterson is 1 for 2. He had the RBI hit for Milwaukee in the 4th. Odds courtesy of FanDuel. Who said over, who said under when we did this earlier?
well, I'll give him the listeners one guess. We have a Brewer and a Giant, so
yeah.
So far, the Giant is winning. They are under 3.
Yeah, I don't gamble a lot. I'm not a betsman. I'm a guessman. That's what I did. I guessed over.
There's still time for
I was
you
gonna say,
as well.
it's not,
I mean, this
it's
isn't
not
over. I just wanted to update
over.
everyone. 2-1 to Peterson. Now 2-2.
And this is the one guy that has helped your chances of going over so far. He's got the 1 RBI for the Brewers. 2-out situation in the 4th inning.
Coming off a monster month of August, too. I mean, he was great last month. He does that very well. Stays in his zone. Last month, I looked up the positions he played. 6 total for Jace Peterson, including a pitching performance.
He got on the bump, huh?
Mm-hmm.
How'd he look, Dilly?
Looked pretty good. Looked like a position player on the mound.
And another strikeout victim. Double-digit punch-outs for Logan Webb. Rowdy Tellez, are you there?
I think Brandon Crawford has one of the best cleat games in baseball. We win a couple World Series, a bunch of Gold Gloves, See, I told you, check out his cleats, dude. Dude, his City Connect ones were painted on, and he said, I think it's Souls by Sir. It's free marketing for Souls by Sir, if you get that on the mic. Those were sick. Sick.
Well, now they're going to have to hook you up with a pair, Rowdy. Oh.
You definitely know where Brandon Crawford is on the field.
Yeah, he knows which shoe goes on which foot, too. That helps out Brandon Crawford. Yeah.
That's my name. Here's Vogelback.
You know who had a solid shoe game we saw before the game was Gabe Kapler.
I wonder if there's like a contest going on. Who can have the most orange on their feet? Gabe Kapler was on top of his game for sure.
If Logan Webb picks up another strike here on Daniel Vogelbach, Not only will it be another 1, 2, 3 for him, it would be a career high 11 strikeouts. He has matched his career high mark at the moment. He's at 88 pitches. You would think he's got at least one more inning in him, no?
At least. It depends on how this at bat goes, but yeah, you'd think if he could get through this inning at 90 pitches, that depending on how the 8th inning went, how the game's going, I mean, it still is a tie game. Yeah, you may have a chance to pitch deeper than that.
Well, I think you got to listen to the game. I mean, when you look at someone like Gabe Kapler, who played, got now on the other side of things, just like Craig Counsell, you got to read the game. And what is the game telling you right now? I mean, if he can go 110 pitches, you got to put him back out there. It's not so much a pitch count thing, other than the game's telling you you got to leave him out there.
The stuff is still nasty, still getting swing and miss. Yeah.
Payoff. We'll do it again. Keep in mind, they're asking him to be the stopper today, too. The Giants have lost 4 in a row.
They've lost 4 in a row, but they've won 12 out of the last 13 with Logan Webb on the mound. Now, I mentioned it before the game that the one loss was against the Brewers. And even though he pitched pretty well in Milwaukee, the Brewers were able to get him late in that game, winning extra innings.
That's smoked off the bat of Vogelbach, and it's going to bounce up against the right field wall. He's heading for second. Here comes the throw, and they got him! Austin Slater on the money.
That's the big leagues right there. Oh my goodness.
Wow. He was going. He put his head down and started running right out of the gate. That was just a good play off the wall, good throw right there.
You watch the throw, you watch the play, plays it perfect off the wall. Vogelbach sniffing a double out of the box, but Slater comes up, fields it clean, throws a strike, one hopper right on the bag. Crawford puts the quick tag down. That is textbook perfection right there.
I think he kind of took his mind off getting the second about halfway through and then tried to pick it up, but
tough to slow that big body down, though, isn't it?
Yeah, well, he's been battling some leg stuff, so
okay.
Yeah, 536 players with a sprint speed clock this year, and Vogelbach's at 512. Slater knew it.
Kinley with a 1-2. And Adames with a fly ball. He's back in a deep right field. And it is gone! Willie Adames goes opposite field in the ninth. And the Brewers lead it in Colorado.
1 ball, no strikes on Adames. Swing and a drive. Deep left field. We are tied. Willie Adames strikes again against the Colorado Rockies. And the Brewers come back down 4-0. Adames in the air, right center. Ball's hit well. Marisnik on the run. And it is up and out. It's a grand slam. The first of the year for the Brewers. Willie Adames again. And this ballpark is lit up.
MLB Originals Season 2 is live on YouTube with new episodes every week. See your favorite players and learn more about the game you love on youtube.com/MLB. Brandon Crawford takes a strike on the inside corner from Eric Lauer. So we've stretched, and we still see a 1-1 score. What a series it's been between the Brewers and Giants that wraps up today. And then San Francisco moves on to face the Dodgers this weekend at home right here in Oracle Park. And the Brewers actually head home back to Milwaukee. They'll face the Cardinals for 3. And then the Phillies come to town. There's Tyler Rogers. Gives you a different look, a little bit of a dilly look.
Side arm, side hander. Gotta love those guys.
Love it. Crawford, Casali, Dubon here in the 7th. And yes, just 76 pitches so far today for Eric Lauer.
His longest outing this year was against Pittsburgh, July 3rd, where he went 6 1/3. So this right here is kind of uncharted territory, but he's earned it. I think you got to leave him out there continually. I don't know why the Giants would have somebody up. Personally, I think you got to go with Logan Webb. When guys are dealing, just let them go out there and deal. They've put in all the work. They've set up hitters throughout the entire game to where the next time they come out there, they have a plan. So I think it's just precautionary in case a spot comes up.
Exactly right, Dilly. Exactly what's going on. If Webb's spot comes up where a Giant gets on base, his spot will come up. So Cap's looking at this may be the only opportunity to score a run.
He did it yesterday.
Yeah, if he can get someone in scoring position. We've seen him do it all year. He'll pull the trigger early in the game.
Oh, look at that. That's it.
Maybe they're saying, congratulations, you got another one.
Yeah.
No, probably not.
Oh, man. 92 pitches. I mean, that's a day.
Well, maybe Cap's just feeling that, they're going to get somebody on base here. Wishful thinking. He's not a guy either that'll get somebody up, get him hot, and then not bring him in the game either.
It's Casali after Crawford. Lauer's 3-2. Out of play. 34-year-old Brandon Crawford.
I mean, outside of that first pitch of the game, that's the only run that the Giants scored. And Eric Lauer has pitched as well as Logan Webb. The only thing is the strikeouts aren't there. The strikeouts look prettier, right, with Logan Webb and his dominance, but Lauer's been super efficient.
There's a strikeout. He heard you, Sean.
It's that high fastball once again. What do you call it? The Invisicutter?
Invisicutter.
It is. It's a lot of swing throughs today with that pitch and a lot of fly ball outs, like you mentioned. Not a lot of that weak contact.
Dilly, it's all you.
Yeah, the postseason race is on. MLB.TV, now only $26.99. Catch all the action live or on demand. Plus MLB Big Inning. Restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details.
I'm going home. Kirk Casali to center. And Jackie Bradley Jr. circles around it. 2 away. Yeah, that was perfection.
Yeah. I read it 7 times since I was
in the break.
Yeah, that YouTube video I watched on how to be a good broadcaster is paying off right now.
Whoever put that together.
Yeah.
Beautifully done.
Another fly ball out, Dilly.
Longest outing of the season for Eric Lauer. And you know what? It comes because of early contact. That right there is another first pitch out. He has 4 of those, I believe, on the day.
I mean, with a guy that throws a lot of fastballs and does pound the strike zone as a hitter, that's what you should do, right? Go up there, be aggressive. If it's a pitch that you feel like that you can drive, but you can tell that fastball up in the zone plays a lot harder than it really is. You're seeing a lot of fly balls, but they're not balls that are squared up. They're balls that are hit straight up in the air, which shows me that the hitters think that they're on time for it. They think that they're going to get barrel, and they just missed the barrel. They hit the top part of the bat.
Well, you set the tone early. It's almost like Ben Sheets back in the day, throwing strikes early. It's all about filling up the zone. So a hitter that is like, okay, well, this guy's not throwing any balls. What are you going to do? Be patient? You're going to walk up there and it's going to be 0-2 before you know it. So you got to jump in the box, batting gloves tight, bat on your shoulder, ready to swing out of the gate because you've set that tone and that foundation throughout the innings. Both pitchers have done that remarkably today.
Yeah, you get hitters in swing mode before they even step in the box. But that's the thing that this Giant team has prided themselves on, is working counts, making the pitcher work, getting them out of the game early, especially the starters. But they've had difficult time with pitchers that throw strikes with good stuff in the zone this year. Meaning guys that attack them, that don't run from them, that don't nibble, guys that are aggressive with good stuff. Those are the guys, because that makes them go into swing mode.
Yep. Well, one thing that this Brewers staff as a whole does is their stuff plays in the zone. They're willing to throw strikes and get swings and misses, uncomfortable swings, weak contact in the zone. They don't have to rely on that pitch. Hey, oh, he chased it. It was way over there, and he chased it. It's like, no, I'm trying to give you a good strike.
It helps to have as many guys in this rotation and in the bullpen that can strike you out too.
Yeah. Another 3-2 count for Dubon today, and this one is skied. In comes Bradley Jr., and the Gold Glover is all over it with a little leap. Colton Wong with a smile. 3 up, 3 down in the 7th. Eric Lauer has been fantastic today for Milwaukee, preserving this 1-1 game through 7.
Mays was a baseball genius who positioned the Giants' defense and game planned for and against pitchers.
If you're the leader of a ball club, you have to make sure that you are in control.
But the true genius of Willie Mays is found in his nickname, the Say Hey Kid. Ted Williams, Gary Carter, Ken Griffey Jr., and Willie Mays, all Hall of Fame players who earned the highest nickname of honor, Kid. Whether playing stickball in Harlem at 20, winning the World Series at 23, knocking in the winning run of a World Series game with his last hit at 42, or turning 90 years old this year.
Willie Mays.
Willie Mays honors the original, purest version of baseball that we hold so dear, that this is a kid's game. It is designed to be fun. When played well and with joy, baseball is never better.
Still 1-1 as we climb into the 8th inning and document the story of Christian Yelich with back-to-back NL batting titles, an MVP on the resume, a big-time, I guess you could call it lifetime contract with the Brewers during his career, a career worst 205, and then the career worst slugging line this season. But Craig Counsell, as manager, said he's been on fire lately. So we're just looking for the confidence level of anyone that's participating right now. Can he regain his MVP form in October? 100%, feeling good, not great, I'm worried, and then a Dilly special here for the nachos.
Hot dog. Here for the hot dog. Yesterday after the game, I walked out in the parking lot. There was a lady selling hot dogs wrapped in bacon. So that happened.
Did you go there?
Yeah, I did. Well, it kind of was just in my way, and I'm like, well, I have to do this.
Just to get through.
Yeah.
And this is a guy that you're going to need to break down, even though Sean's been handling the Giant pitchers for us. Tim, you made a change at one point and decided to pitch like Tyler Rogers, or I should say Rogers decided to pitch like Tim Dillard. He's in the game. He's one of the best relievers in the sport, and he also is a high usage guy. I mean, this is someone who's led the NL in appearances each of the last 2 seasons, his first 2 full seasons as he takes over for Logan Webb, who was elite this afternoon on the mound.
Well, that's the side effect of throwing down there, submarine action, even sidearm, a little bit less stress on the arm. Really, it comes down to having a plan against lefties, right? Your whole craft is built to get righties out, but we saw it the other night. We're seeing it right here, doing a great job against left-handed hitters.
You see Tyler Rogers throwing out of the shoes right there. Austin Slater recommended him wear white shoes this spring. Said, hey, you throw from down there, it could cause a distraction to the hitter. Ball comes out of your shoes. Why not use it to your advantage? And he's been rocking them all year long.
Yeah,
and he's had another great season.
Dear agent, I need white shoes and then red laces.
The brighter the white, the better, please.
Well, there's no rule against that.
Nope. Not yet, anyway.
We might have just given it away.
Yeah, but it's so funky because it's such a different look to the hitters. There you go. Polar opposites right there.
For different reasons.
The neon orange, yeah. One for show, one for effectiveness.
Well, you have the high top from Brendan Crawford. I mean, he's got to plant and go. I mean, that actually probably helps with ankle support.
Luke Maile, foul ball. We also saw something from Rogers against Bradley that you don't see as frequently as you do for most relievers. Despite the excellent ERA this year for Tyler Rogers, the strikeouts per 9 innings is among the lowest for a relief pitcher. It's just not his thing. Also, killing worms, taking numbers.
He's a contact guy. Makes him put him in play weekly.
But look at him go.
Or he strikes you out once in a while. But yeah, you're right. He's not a strikeout an inning guy. You'd think coming from down under, he's got the little frisbee, almost the slider that looks like it takes off. He'll throw it up and in to lefties. It looks like it almost rises. This one right here might have been a sinker. Doesn't throw hard. I mean, it's hard to throw hard from down there, right, Dilly? I mean, not many guys can throw 90 from that angle.
Well, once your arm when your hand gets past your shoulder going down, it's really hard to get any force behind it. When I did sidearm, I made sure that the ball was just above my shoulder so I could keep some of that velocity, but it's all about what you're trying to do. He's not trying to blow a guy away with heat. He's doing it with 82, 83, but he's playing off of his off-speed stuff and just the funkiness of it, because you may go an entire season not face a guy like this, and for you to buy into it, walk up there and go, you know what, I'm just going to throw my stuff because I'm just going to rely on these guys not having any practice and no reference point for what I'm doing out here.
This is Rowdy Tellez pinch hitting for Eric Lauer, whose day is done.
There's that pitch that's up in the zone that almost looks like it rises when it gets to the plate, and that's physically impossible to do. But when you come from that angle, it does. When it gets to the top of the zone, it holds its plane rather than sinks. Is Rowdy still mic'd for the at-bat?
Oh, yes, he is. We're going to get some word from Rowdy. At some point, we'll turn that audio around and get his thoughts.
Another thing that Rogers does so well, too, is he does stay out of the middle part of the zone. And I've seen him this year a few times, especially against teams that have seen him more than others. Teams in the NL West, the Dodgers, Padres, Diamondbacks, Rockies. Teams that see him like 2-3 times in a series, they start to get better swings against him. But the first time, like you mentioned, Billy, he's got to be a tough at bat.
Oh, wow.
There's that up and in. Slider takes off. Nasty.
That thing was sailing to the bay. He strikes out the side. Tyler Rogers, everyone.
The big right-hander with a handlebar mustache.
Up until 81, they needed that closer. They needed the confidence that came with a guy like Fingers at the end of ball games.
Rollie Fingers was and is the best. When he signed with the Milwaukee Brewers, we knew that when games were called upon for his services, that our chances of winning dramatically increased.
Rollie Fingers comes in and gets his man.
When he came into a game, you knew the game was over. That was the way we felt.
Rollie Fingers, the ace reliever of the Milwaukee Brewers.
And Fingers never missed a beat, dominating the American League.
81 was the year that Rollie won the MVP and Cy Young, and I do not believe over the course of 162 games, Rollie Fingers made a bad pitch.
He was also the Fireman of the Year and winner of the Rolaids Relief Man Award. Both his talent and unique style soon brought him a cult following in Milwaukee.
Rollie the Magnificent with his curling handlebar. Rollie, 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 Rollie. The history and performance of this man, Rollie Fingers, has been clearly documented. He's one of the best at his trade.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. Scott Braun, Sean Estes, Tim Dillard, and Amy G joining us right now.
All right, gentlemen. Well, hearts are breaking all over the city of San Francisco as Ron Wotos, who's coming up the steps here shortly to coach third base. He is the longest tenured coach in San Francisco Giants history, and he announced he will be hanging it up after this season. He will no longer be a full-time coach come 2022. Now, to put this in perspective, he's been with the Giants organization for 34 years. 24 of those seasons right here with the big league club. And I talked to the hitting coach, Donnie Ecker, who said Ron Wotus has been a true sounding board for this coaching staff. They're a very young staff that has come in after the Bruce Bochy reign, and Ron has been this pillar of wisdom and experience and knowledge. Donnie Ecker referred to him as a human Google. He will definitely be missed. He is absolutely beloved by all in San Francisco. Gentlemen.
Hats off to you, Ron. What a career. What a guy. And he will be missed out there at third base. He said a little more life balance, hanging with the fam at this point. You know, when you're part of a coaching staff, it's the same grind as the players. You're on the road half the summer. Special individual, special coach. Lamont Wade Jr., pinch hitter here in the home eighth. And that one he got under. Christian Yelich fighting some sun and finding out number one. So can you give us anything good on Ron Wotus as we check out? Devin Williams is in the game, Mr. Airbender, changeup aficionado, but
yeah, you talk about special. This is a pretty special pitcher right here.
Yeah, this guy knows how to sling it.
Special all around right now.
Yeah, a lot of special. Everyone being special. No, you look specifically at Devin Williams right now, the airbender. We talked about it on the pregame show. But you know what? Logan Webb's got a great changeup. It's kind of coming back to the forefront across baseball. But if you look specifically at Devin Williams, in his last 31 appearances, he's thrown 29 innings, only given up 1 earned run. That is a .31 ERA.
That'll play.
Yeah, that'll play. And back to Ron Wotus, I mean, he was my manager in AA. He was my manager in AAA. Won Manager of the Year both those years. Won the divisions both those years. You knew that he was destined for the big leagues, and then he got the Dusty Baker and had him on his coaching staff right after that, and he's been with the club ever since. He's just through his 4th manager, the longest tenured coach. Nice change up there, but I could go on and on about Ron Wotus and what he's meant to this organization and just the wealth of knowledge. And it's unfortunate that he hasn't been a manager in his career up to this point. I know he's had a few interviews. For whatever reason, he hasn't got that opportunity, but he's filled all kinds of different roles with the Giants, and he's just a stand-up guy, and they're definitely going to miss him. I mean, I'm sure he'll be around in some capacity. That's yet to be determined, but he won't be in the dugout in the clubhouse with, just like you mentioned, the sounding board for a lot of the other coaches. And the players love him. The veteran guys gush over him. Crawford, Belt, Posey, the guys that have been with him for the longest amount of time. And Crawford right away went out and did a goat on Twitter after he found out that he was going to step down next year. So they're well respected.
A staple in the organization, and we just showed you some defensive swapping. Peterson to right field. Arias moves over from short to third, and in comes the showman, Willy Adames. And the birthday boy.
Yeah, happy birthday, Willie.
Should I tell him that I wore his helmet in the dugout before he came out for stretch?
I have a picture to document it.
Yeah, that's my bad.
We'll have to see if it was lucky or not. I'm sure he'll get it bad at this game.
Yeah, we'll find out. There's Slater gone fishing.
Yeah, a lot of guys go fishing at this pitch right here. It's one of the best pitches in all of baseball. Maybe the best pitch in all of baseball.
Well, it sets itself apart when you talk about guys with really good fastballs, really good cutters, really good curveball. Maybe the changeup is special in that way because he throws it 86 miles an hour, and he knows he's going to throw it, and he knows that the batter knows it's coming. And so he still goes out there and throws it. That's more than just confidence in a pitch. That's got to be courage, because you're going out there going, hey, I know you know it's coming, and I'm going to throw it anyway.
What's crazy about his changeup, and like you mentioned, the hitters know that they're going to see it. He throws it with great arm speed. But a lot like Trevor Hoffman, you know, coming into close games for his career, Hall of Fame career. Yeah, he had a good fastball to go with it, but the hitters knew that they were gonna see the changeup. It's such a difficult pitch to if you locate it, it's still tough to square up. It's got to be up in the zone to be able to hit it. And he locates it down better than anybody. He rarely ever seems to make a mistake with the changeup.
I think he was trying to balance it out with a fastball early on because he was struggling with that feel. But when he has a feel for it, he can just throw it every single pitch. We've seen it over and over again. And I think the reason it's such a mind bender, the air bender, to the hitter is because it takes you back a notch on how much it moves. How it starts up, they think he made a mistake up in the zone and it ends up in the dirt. Just an incredible pitch.
Yanked another fastball to Chris Bryant. He's done that twice in this AB.
And you wonder sometimes too, pitchers they don't forget certain players at bats if they've had success against them or if they've hit a home run off of you. And I know that he's faced Chris Bryant a lot, being in the NL Central for so long. Maybe that plays into how you approach a guy. You almost, mind trick yourself sometimes into believing that they're going to hit that changeup maybe.
Some sort of edge.
Yeah, some edge because they've seen it so many times. And maybe he's squared up his changeup in the past. So now he's seeing a couple fastballs.
And that's ball 4. 4-pitch walk for Chris Bryant. 2-out base runner for the Giants in the 8th.
Sometimes when you get behind, especially really good hitters, especially in one-run ball games late in the game, you don't want to just throw a get-me-over. You're better off just walking the guy, hit the reset button on the Nintendo, and try for the next batter. Devin Williams is in the 8th inning role. Has come to the forefront of going, if it takes me 30 pitches, that's fine. As long as you put up a 0, they don't care how many pitches you throw. It's like, yeah, who cares?
Yeah, he might have pushed the reset button, but this is a guy in this whole Giant lineup that has the ability to square up David Williams based on the fact he does like soft down in the zone.
Next up, Brandon Belt. That misses up.
And because of that, he's going to make Devin Williams go away from his strength. And you got to get Brandon Belt up with high fastballs and above his hands with high velocity. But if that's not one of your strengths, then you're kind of playing right into his hand.
Yeah, I like how you said last at bat. You got to go above the belt for Belt. I don't know if you meant to do that. You have that stashed away and
written. Did not.
No.
I was waiting for that. Ooh, there's a tough strike for Belt. Not doing much with that pitch.
You're not. If you swing at it and make contact, you're gonna roll over it to the right side, and it's gonna be a ground ball out. So you might as well just take it. Wait for a mistake, but to be able to locate that air bender like that is that's just unfair.
He won NL Reliever of the Month in August. It's 2-1. Belt, by the way, has 5 home runs against the Brewers this year. It's a quarter of his power against the team. They don't face often, obviously. You face a team like this 7 times for the season. And Brandon Belt has punished Brewer pitching, and you can't say that about many hitters in all of baseball this year.
And he's punished right-handed hitters or pitchers as far as the home runs go. 16 of his 20 against righties. There's a big at bat in this game based on the matchup, where we are. 1-1 game, you get head in the count. Brandon Belt, you can almost eliminate the fastball right now because Devin Williams hasn't been able to locate it.
People are booing a pick to first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not allowed to do that.
No. Not on the road. You know that.
Do they realize that 90 feet's a pretty big deal right now?
Yeah, right.
And Chris Bryant can steal a base.
Two-one. He's running. Chris Bryant for second, and he is out. Luke Maile delivers, and Willy Adames slaps on the tag.
Well, they're going to give that a look. What a throw by Maley. It looked like Bryant, he had a great jump. Looked like he was going to steal that bag easily. And he can run. He's faster than he looks. I mean, he's 6'5", but he can get after it. He can scoot.
Well, Williams not trying to hold him too close as far as being quick to the plate. He's more focused on trying to make the pitch at the plate.
Here's your money shot. Is he?
I think he's safe.
Wow, that's close.
It's a tough angle right there. We need to see this one right here, unless the umpire blocks it out.
Might be blocked. This is being reviewed officially, by the way. Adames put the glove on the left side of Bryant. I mean, the crowd obviously looks at the angle that we just saw. And
I'll tell you what, the Brewers' best friend right now might be Alex Tosi, the second base umpire. But I guarantee you they have a better angle in New York.
Do they? They
Maybe.
need to share that.
Yes.
Share it with the world.
We need the overhead drone angle.
Yeah, we need to know what's going on here.
It might not be enough.
It needs to be conclusive to overturn what was on the field, which is out. Are we confident that he's safe here?
Well, in one angle, he's touching him high and then it goes down. So you have to assume on the angle where you can see the hand, he's tagging him early, see on the top of the number.
The crowd's going safe, safe.
Yeah, New York's got many more angles than we're seeing right now, so this might be the best one. And that's still hard because you can't see where the hand comes in because Adames' body's in the way. This one you can't see because the glove is, now it's gone. And then the other one you can't see because the umpire. But it's a big deal because it's a 3-1 count on Brandon Belt and you have a runner in scoring position.
You know, the Giants crowd does not think it's close. It's pretty close.
Yeah, it's funny. You always hear that. Oh, what'd you think? Yeah, it was close. Well, yeah, of course it's close. That's why we're reviewing it. If it wasn't close, we'd be moving on to the ninth inning.
And that's why it's taking a little more time. I mean, sometimes it's easy. This one is not a gimme. All right, here we go. And the conclusion, he's safe. Chris Bryant swipes a bag.
I think he hurt himself, though, his pinky. Like he jammed it. Got to keep an eye on Chris Bryant. Now he's got the oven mitt that he puts on, not quite as big as a lot of guys go with, but he was wiggling that pinky finger as soon as he got that brace off, and he took his batting glove off as well and was checking out his pinky finger.
Last year, he spent some time on the injured list with a left finger issue. Oh, now the crowd is pumped. Leveraging the count for Belt, and he walks.
Well, what that did is it opened up that base. And so as a pitcher, Dilly, you're thinking like, all right, if you got a guy in first base, I'm going to probably pitch to you. But now you're at second. I got an open base, and I'm not giving in.
Yeah, good job. Good steal. I'll just put this guy over here at first. I mean, sometimes that's the best case scenario. And, he's been in this 8th inning role all season long, got so much experience last year, got Rookie of the Year. So for Devin Williams, it's now just to kind of slow things down. I think they kind of freeze the kicker moment with the long time reviewing the play. Even right there, if he's, a quick, easy, like they look at it in 5 seconds and go, oh, yeah, he's safe, and then you continue the inning, it probably wouldn't have affected that pitch so much. But when you just start hanging out on the field, I think that's one of the wrong things about replay is you kind of overlook the pitcher. Just, yeah, he gets a throw to a catcher and stuff, but it totally disrupts the moment of what you're trying to do. It's one more thing that a pitcher has to overcome.
And I just don't think that Devin Williams really loved the matchup against Brandon Belt anyway. You saw him go away from his strength, which is his changeup, knowing that Brandon Belt's strength is soft down in the zone. So I think he was going to be careful with Brandon Belt regardless in that at bat, but as soon as Chris Bryant stole second base, it made it pretty easy.
Darren Ruff loves left-handed pitching. And we'll see if he has the ability to crack the code against one of the toughest righties in baseball.
Devin Williams looking in like that could have been a strike. A little bit better frame job. He might have caught that bottom part of the zone.
We saw a similar location called for a strike earlier in this inning. Bryant on second, Belt on first. The Giants have 1 run today, and it came all the way back in the opening inning. First pitch for the offense, Austin Slater socked a homer. Are we going to see any fastballs this AB? I feel like this could just be changeup city.
I think you're right. Giants looking for that big hit. They haven't had it. It's been a while.
Ruff blasts one. Left field, and it's down in the corner. Here comes Bryant. The Giants grab the lead. It's 2-1. Darren Ruff comes through against Devin Williams with a double.
Well, you saw the graphic. Runners in scoring positions. The Giants 4 for the last 42, 0 for 2 today. But Darren Ruff been so clutch this year. Sits on 1 pitch, gets the changeup in a zone that he likes, and drives that ball out to left field. And that's been the big hit that they have been looking for all series. Mr. Clutch does it again.
Mr. Williams gives up his first earned run since June 23rd. That was a while ago. It's September, folks.
And you saw Chris Bryant going down into the tunnel. I'm wondering if that slide into second base didn't do something to his hand. Have to wait and see on that one, but nonetheless, Giants take the lead. It might be the first lead they've had in this series.
Well, they had the lead in the first inning, just briefly, right? Austin Slater with the home run, but then the Brewers caught up in the 4th. It's been a series dominated by Milwaukee. Giants out in front. And it's up to Thairo Estrada. This would be some nice insurance. Big cut and a miss on the changeup. 2 in scoring position. It's Belt at third. Ruff, the big man, at second.
Yeah, like you mentioned, Scott, outside of that first inning, Slater's home run, now this the second lead now of the series. They had not had a lead in the first 3 games of the series. It's tough to play from come behind.
Especially against this team. I mean, Quashtag, I saw his comment, one of our YouTube creators. Brewers got to be the toughest team to hit against in the 8th and 9th. Crazy 1-2 punch with Williams and Hader. The pitch looked a little bit off the plate.
Dilly, you can attest to this. I mean, Boxberger and Cousins, and I'm missing someone else down there. They're no joke either.
Strickland.
Strickland. Oh, he's Strickland, that guy.
Yeah. I think where Devin Williams ran into trouble was trying to get a read on what Ruff's approach was right there. He throws first pitch changeup, ball, takes it. Next pitch changeup, strike. He took it. You didn't really know what his approach was. Is he trying to stay back and maybe hit something to the right side? What's he trying to do here? And I think he sat on the changeup, down and in. I mean, I think that's the only way that you hit that pitch and keep it fair. I think we've seen a lot of times a guy that sells out for it, he's going to hit it 500 feet way back up, way foul. But for him to keep that fair, that's a good piece of hitting.
(0-2) on Estrada. Real talk question, Dilly. Were you ever distracted by the mascot? I mean,
like right now I am.
Lucille's been putting on a show for the entire inning. Austin Kleschka said, Lucille, Devin Williams' ultimate weakness. He's been just dancing up a storm right behind home plate, left side of your screen. Hello, Lou. We see you.
Giants are pulling out all the stops, trying to win a game, get the mascot involved.
Whatever works. Did that ever distract you? Did you ever see a mascot like that back there?
Yeah, I've come set with the famous San Diego Chicken coaching first base. So, I mean, I get it. I get it.
I remember pitching in Montreal, and you could see behind home plate they had this plexiglass where people you could sit, and their mascot's name was a Youppi.
Yep.
And Yuppie used to sit down there and make all the, because you could see there was actually a TV back there too. It was kind of a distraction because you could see yourself pitching through the plexiglass. But Yuppie used to go back there and make all these hand gestures and try to distract you as a pitcher. And if you let it, you could let it get to you if you focused on it. Usually a pretty tunnel vision out there.
It's 2-2 now against Estrada. I think the late, great Tommy Lasorda got in a little brawl with Yuppie at one point, who was distracting the squad for the Dodgers back in the day.
Yeah, Tommy deserved it.
Estrada with a deep drive. Left field. Oh, he got all of that one. Thairo Estrada for 3. It's 5-1 San Francisco. Muscle up, young man. His 4th of the year.
Well, you got the big hit from Darren Ruff, and that might have been the knockout blow right there by Thairo Estrada. And that's the whole next man up mentality for this Giant ball club. Thairo Estrada gets the start today, faces a tough righty in Williams, and ends up hitting a ball at a ballpark 3-run home run to add to that league-leading home run total for the San Francisco Giants.
Some of those changeups, he kind of got on the side of it right there. That one had more of the horizontal movement rather than the downward movement, but sometimes that happens.
A career high 4 runs allowed by Devin Williams. The Giants with a late punch. It's 5-1.
It has never been done before in the ALCS, where a club has fallen behind in the first 2 games and then come back to win it.
County Stadium was rocking that night.
From a jam-packed County Stadium, the American League Championship on the line.
3-2. Got the bases loaded. Cecil Cooper hitting.
Cecil Cooper comes to the plate with opportunity staring him in the face.
Pitch to Cooper. Base hit, left field, a liner. 1-run home. Downing's throw coming on. Gantner slides. He's safe. The Brewers lead 4-3.
Without question, the biggest moment in my life.
Listen to this crowd at County Stadium.
And so it came down to a future Hall of Famer against a newly christened closer. What a poetic way to reach the World Series.
Ball line to Yount, it's short. He throws. It's over. The Brewers have won the American League pennant. Milwaukee, you have a World Series.
What an 8th inning for San Francisco. Darren Ruff with the RBI double to vault the Giants in front 2-1. And then Thairo Estrada with a 3-run trick off Devin Williams. And now Holby Milner in the game. First pitch swinging is Brandon Crawford. And a little bloop right into Colton Wong's glove. Side retired, but the Giants put up a 4-spot, a career high 4 runs allowed by Devin Williams, and only the 2nd time he's given up a home run against a right-handed hitter. It's Thairo Estrada to save the day, and we'll see if the Giants can wrap this one up.
They're a strike away from winning the World Series.
Great finish to Game 7.
And Madison Bumgarner, all that he has done to help the Giants get here.
It was fitting that he was on the mound.
Does he have one more out-pitch inning?
Losing wasn't an option for him.
The 2-2.
When that pop-up went up, it seemed like it stayed in the air for an eternity.
I've never been so nervous on an infield pop-up, especially one in the foul territory.
Sandoval in foul territory, underneath it.
I see 3 balls.
I just concentrate, you know, catch the ball, don't miss it. Try concentrate, catch it, don't get too excited.
Side the ball, down the line, and foul ground. He's got plenty of room.
It was unreal. It was unreal.
Giants win! And the Giants have won the World Series again. For the third time in the last 5 years. The San Francisco Giants are the champions of the baseball world.
Hey, visit the San Francisco Giants, same thing, official YouTube channel to watch behind-the-scenes content, highlights, and learn more about your favorite players. Subscribe to youtube.com/Giants and do it today so you never miss a video. Sounds pretty cool.
Oh,
Dilly.
yeah? Oh, yeah?
Yeah, what do you got?
The Brewers YouTube page is the best place to go behind the scenes with the team. Just visit youtube.com/Brewers to subscribe.
Oh.
Yeah.
Milwaukee Brewers,
Anything you can do.
I can do better.
What a showdown just now.
Man.
Yeah, I think he got me on that one. I had to repeat the Giants a couple times.
It's tense in here.
Well, Giants fans are very happy at the moment after that 8th inning. And a blast from Tyro Estrada. Lamont Wade Jr. playing out in left field now for the Giants. And there's Jake McGee, their closer, going for number 30 on this season. 29 saves so far this year. And for all those changeups we've seen from Devin Williams, you're mostly going to see fastballs from this man, the left-hander, with a standout season this year for San Francisco. First 3 in the order for the Brewers. Non-save situation, I should mention. It's a 4-run game.
Yeah, he hasn't pitched in a week. Last time he pitched was on August 25th, so he'll be well rested. You'll see that lively fastball. Now, he won't pitch more than 2 days in a row. He's only a back-to-back guy. They'll never use him 3 straight days, but he needs to get some work in non-save situation. You expected to see McGee, and what you're going to see is you're going to see about 98% fastballs.
Wong up the middle, base hit to start the 9th. His first hit of the day, and Urias will follow.
That's Wong's MO right there. Loves to hit lefties. Hits lefties better than righties, which is strange for a left-handed hitter, but he's been struggling of late, so that was actually a gift for him to come in and, for whatever reason, feels way more comfortable facing lefties at this moment in the season.
Yeah, Jake McGee was happy to see a lefty in the box. They're 10 for their last 60 off of him, so he has his way with lefties, and Colton Wong won that battle.
Something's got to give, and it did. Wong on first. Urias had the double in the 4th, and he scored the lone tally for Milwaukee today.
And you ask how a closer can throw one pitch, in essence, being a fastball, and still get it done. And the fact is that McGee has one of those fastballs, if you ask hitters, that plays a lot harder than it really is. He'd throw 94, 95, but to a hitter, and 96, it'll, especially up at the top part of the zone, it has that spin. We talk about spin, which looks like it has a little bit more carry, a little bit, holds this line a little bit more, where hitters just aren't able to get on top of that pitch. And they'll tell you the ball that comes in low looks like a ball out of his hands. They give up on it, and it catches the bottom part of the zone. But where he's effective is up in the zone.
Urias pops one up, but it is going to go out of play. And Urias actually homered off McGee, so he did get on top of one back in 2018 in August. It was his 4th major league game. There's a little history, but a lot of work to do for the Brew Crew offense here in the 9th.
Yeah, that's why that swing in the bat by Estrada is going to probably end up playing pretty big here, because this Brewer club is a club that doesn't give up. In a 1-run game, it's a lot different feel than it is in a 4-run game going into the 9th inning.
To center. In comes, oh, Dubon. That's great coverage. What a play by Mauricio Dubon. Welcome back to the big league club.
He's an athlete. Can play everywhere. You don't lose anything defensively. He's above average everywhere he plays. You can put him at short. He'll make great plays. We've seen him make these plays in center when he's given the opportunity all year long. When he's been in the big leagues, he can make up for lack of jump or route with his athleticism and his speed. Great play right there.
Just impressive. He was my shortstop in the Brewers minor leagues, and I've seen him make some amazing plays. Never in center field, never in a big moment like that. He's just such a fun guy to watch play. Very exciting.
Sick athlete.
He is. Plays up the middle of the field, toughest two positions, and can get it done at a high.
I mean, the closing speed for Dubon there.
Because I thought off the bat that it was going to be a base hit because he froze, which you're supposed to do, or first step back, but he was able to close that ground in a hurry.
Now it's Yelich.
Rare slider from Jake McGee. He'll mix that in from time to time, and we've seen it a lot more as of late. Just more of a show-me pitch. Try to get you off the fastball.
YouTube player of the game poll is live. Show the options again in a moment. There you go. Slater, Webb, Ruff, Estrada.
It's going to be a tough one today. That's going to be a tough call.
Ruff had the go-ahead knock, which could be the difference. Webb had the dominant pitching performance. Slater had the homer to start, but Estrada had the 3-run blast that kind of put him away, or so you would think.
You have two pitchers in the booth right here, so.
Yeah, I bet McGee's like, let's just go ahead and give that trophy to Dubon right there. That was.
Good job by Casale to keep it close enough. Wong stays put at first.
I was going to say, it looked like he went, and he did.
Yeah, he did. Christian Yelich is a strikeout victim.
Well, rarely do you see Jake McGee strike somebody out with a slider, but against the lefty Yelich, gets him to chase. Yelich is thinking the same thing. Where's that 98% of the time fastball? Supposed to throw me a fastball there.
Brewers won the first 3 in this 4-game set. Never trailed. Today flipped the script so far. And look who it is, the birthday boy, Willy Adames. Last chance for Milwaukee.
This is the part of the order they wanted up in the 9th. Got the leadoff spot at the top of the order. They put in Willy Adames, play shortstop in the last inning. There he is coming up to bat in a big moment, trying to keep things alive. The Brewers have done this a lot of comebacks.
This would be quite the feat.
Willie doesn't know that Tim Dillard put his helmet on before the game, though, and took every ounce of luck it was in there out of it.
This could be bad. Hopefully, no one will tell him.
An Adames-like performance on the mic from Dilly today. Runners going, and that's down.
No contest.
Nope. Defensive indifference. What does Bob Uecker say about that? Who cares? Something like that. He calls it.
Brandon Bell's playing in right field. I don't think that they're worried about Colton Wong.
It's all on Adames. He was hitting in Garcia's spot. Garcia went 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts today. Adames goes to right. We'll see if that one's playable for Slater, backing up, and if it's fair, it's gone. It's gone! Happy birthday, Willy Adames. Number 23 on the season. 2-run shot, ends up in the Bay.
Well, there was a home run in that helmet, Billy. You can take some credit for that one.
Well, before I take credit, let's just see what these guys are. Oh, they're looking. Oh, man. He knew it was foul.
Foul ball.
Gilly can't wait to take the credit for this one. He cannot wait.
You know they're going to look it over. I mean, we're in the 9th. Originally called a homer. Switched around after the ump conference. Craig Counsell is heated. I mean, we're going to look at it.
He just got tossed.
And he's tossed.
Well, he's heated because Stu Sherwater immediately calls it a home run and then immediately calls all the umpires over to see if he got it.
Home run.
Right, and then they didn't even review it, and they just overturned it.
You figure they're going to review it now.
Well, if they don't review it, Gabe Kapler was pouncing on the headset, so he wanted them to review it right away.
And they will. Counsell has been tossed, so it was like, yes, home run, I'm sure. Wait, let's chat about it.
Yeah, he said fair, turned around, and then went and got all the umpire. I mean, sometimes in the heat of the moment, you're going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
But Counsell's point all year long is that when it comes to the umpiring crew, it feels like they make these weird calls at the biggest moments in the game.
Oh, you see just foul.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got the call wrong, and then they got it right. Frustrating for a manager. It's almost like the umpires will make a call knowing that they have the security blanket of replay.
That Tim Dillard helmet magic not there yet. 2-2 to Adames. We'll see if he can do it again. Opposite field, that one twisted well, foul. One more time. It didn't take long once it was under review. Yeah, that's clear cut.
Never lose sight of the ball, which means that it was foul.
I think what they were trying to determine, I think Stu, actually the first base umpire, I think he actually thought it might have deflected off of it. I think that was kind of was it inside the pole? No, but right there is a tough to see whether it hit off of it or just went near it.
I didn't want to call it, but Stu made me do it. This one's on the ground. It's going to be a tough play at second for Estrada. Of course he makes it. Game over.
Hit a home run, make a great play to end the game.
Will that get you a trophy, though?
It might. 5-1.
We will find out.
So the Giants were out of first place for about 17 hours. They're back in there, tied with the Dodgers, heading into a weekend set against LA. The Giants improved to 85-49 on the year, but the Brewers take the series. They win 3 out of 4. They dropped to 82-53 on the season in a game that took 2 hours and 31 minutes to complete. The Giants pick up a W, salvage a game in this series. What a day. And it ended like this.
Tyro's pumped. It's a good day at the ballpark for Thairo Estrada. Donovan Solano, Wilmer Flores on the IL. He gets a chance to start, has a huge hit, great defense. Nice game.
And he's one of 2 right-handed hitters to ever homer off Devin Williams in the major leagues. Let's talk about it. Post-game showtime right now.
Are we turn that way?
Nope. It's the MLB Game of the Week live on YouTube post-game show presented by State Farm. 30 minutes with you, us, Scott Braun, Sean Estes, Tim Dillard, Amy G will join us shortly. We'll get some player interviews for you too. 30 minutes dedicated to the Brewers and the Giants. What a series. This was awesome. If you watched all 4, these are competitive ball clubs. It had a playoff atmosphere every single day. Some of the players talked about that. And today it went to the Giants. And that's why Gabe Kapler said, forget about the Dodgers series. I'm going with Logan Webb today because we need to wipe away this 4-game losing skid. It doesn't taste good.
No, I went to their stopper in Logan Webb. He won the last 13 games. He's getting up 2 runs or less. Now make that 14 games. The Giants have won 12 out of the last, or 13 out of the last 14 games that he's pitched. So the right guy on the mound. Yes, you need to win the game today. Now you're tied with the Dodgers going into a big series against them this weekend. Yeah, great answer back after a tough 3 games against the Brewers for this Giant team.
And Eric Lauer on the mound for the Brewers was outstanding. This was his best start all season long against a really good team. And let's be honest, for the Brewers to try to go for the supermarket sweep against the Giants in a 4-game, that's tough to do. That is tough to do. I think it came to a culmination against Devin Williams in that 8th inning. I think it was just a culmination the entire series of the Giants finally coming together with some good at-bats and getting some good swings at some really good pitches.
I like that. Is that a signature Dilly phrase? Supermarket sweep?
Yeah,
sweep.
Well,
That's
I
good.
really enjoy that show.
That's the 4-gamer? Yeah. Not your traditional 3-game
For
sweep.
about 10 years, I've called it super sweep. I like supermarket, though,
that
even
could
better.
Be trademarked.
A little extra something. Yeah. Okay. So Giants take this one, and if you go back and if you missed anything, we're going to give you full highlights in just a few. We're going to chat with a few players post-game first, and also we'll give you the results of the poll, the YouTube player of the game. But it was Austin Slater with the home run on the first pitch for the Giants offense. Then they didn't score for a while. I mean, we saw textbook Brewers pitching where they shut down the Giants up until the 8th inning, and you thought San Francisco might be in trouble just due to the fact that Devin Williams was down yesterday, so he was ready to go today and just did not have his best stuff. This was one of the defining moments. Technically, Ruff had the winning hit, but Thairo Estrada with the extra padding that really made a difference.
Yeah, big swing of the bat by Estrada. Council had it set up the way he wanted. He had Lauer pitch 7 innings, longest start of his year. Then he was going to go to the back end of that bullpen to get it done. And it just, every once in a while that happens. I don't care how good you are, how good a pitch you do have. Sometimes you just get beat. Hitters just beat you. It wasn't like there were mistakes. He's been doing it all year long. Giants just got good wood on him today.
And he was doing it in this series, too. He pitched the last game against the Twins and then came straight here, pitched the first day, got up the second day, got hot, did not come into the game. So he was off yesterday, quick turnaround in the day game. So his stuff was still good. It just wasn't enough to get it done today.
He got 2 quick outs in that inning.
It's true.
The Giants did all their damage with 2 outs.
Logan Webb had the good stuff again. He's going to join us now. Logan Webb joins us on the postgame show in just a moment, like 10 seconds.
Come on,
He's just
Logan, where are you? You just pitched
up.
7. Come on.
High-fiving.
He already iced his arm. Yeah, I didn't have to pitch the last 2 innings. Where are you?
Only 7 strong today from Logan Webb. He was dealing this afternoon for San Francisco. Picked up a career high in terms of the whiffs, too. That's the swing and miss. There he is, Logan Webb, joining us right now. Logan, congratulations on the W for the team. And a big one in a series against a very tough opponent in the Milwaukee Brewers. First, let's run through what you did on the mound today. How do you evaluate your performance? And as I mentioned, more whiffs than we've ever seen from you in your career.
Yeah, we just tried to attack the guys. They got a really good team. We had a good game plan going in. Just try to go out there and compete. I think we really needed to win as a team, and coming up late and doing all that, it was awesome.
Hey, Logan, it's so good that you now get a little extra hardware this year. I know you're going for some other hardware, but here it comes. The YouTube Player of the Game trophy. It's got a little weight to it, right?
Yes,
you
it
can
does.
Do bicep curls.
Thank you,
Congratulations.
Thank you
That's
very
all
much.
you. We'll have your name engraved in that one for the performance today to a global audience on YouTube as we show off the line. 7 innings, 10 strikeouts. And really, this has been stretching now, this good stuff, for a while. So has anything been different that you've noticed or that you've worked on as part of your game over the last couple months that's taken you to another level?
I think it's something Cap has said a bunch, and it's something I've talked to Buster and Kurt a lot about. It's just attacking the zone. When you attack the zone, good things happen, and I feel like that's just been the main thing over this, past 14, 15 starts.
Hey, Logan, Sean Estes here. Congratulations. Nice win today. The club needed it. I got a couple questions. Did you feel a little bit more pressure taking the mound today, knowing that your club really needed you? You lost 4 straight. You pitched so well as of late. Did you feel any added pressure, especially as well as Lauer was pitching today?
Not really pressure. I think the adrenaline was up a little bit today. It felt to me like warming up and everything. Felt like a playoff type game. And like I said, this team's, the Brewers are unreal and got a really good staff, good lineup. And I was just super excited to pitch today. And I think warming up and knowing we had gone through a little, rough patch, a little more adrenaline today.
Yeah, I got a question for you, too. May 11th, you pitched against the Rangers. You had a rough first inning. You kind of labored through that inning, kind of got deliberate, threw a bunch of pitches, I believe 25. I had heard that either Casali or Buster maybe has said something in between innings about you picking up your pace a little bit, attacking the strike zone, working a little bit quicker. Is that what happened? Because I feel like that since that start is really when you've taken off.
Yeah, that was a big thing for me. You know, I talked to Woody about it a bunch too. You know, that guy's a little more crazy than I am with the pace, but I think when I get my pace going, you know, I think that just gets me into that attack mode, and when I do that, you know, good things happen.
Logan Webb, Tim Dillard up here with these guys. Listen, I got a great question for you. It's not really a great question. Your slider against lefties, where does that, as a right-handed pitcher throwing against lefties, you don't always have that reference point. For me, that was huge early on, locating that slider down and in on the lefties with so many lefties in the lineup. Can you talk to that a little bit? Is that something that you work on all the time? Is that something that you just come out of the hat throwing it? But I feel like that right there was the building block for later on getting guys out with changeup.
Yeah, I feel like in spring, in early parts of the season, I was real changeup heavy, especially to lefties, and I think guys are started sitting on that, and you know it's something that we worked on in the bullpens, and talking to Buster and Kurt about it, kind of just letting it play, kind of setting up outside, letting it play, and just kind of throwing the crap out of it, and kind of letting it do its thing. And it was huge today. It's been a good pitch that I've been, you know, really working on and trying to hone in on. So excited about how it went today.
Logan, we love the slider, the frisbee. We love the pace. Keep it up. Congrats on the W, and we'll see you down the line.
All right, sounds good. See you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
YouTube player of the game, Logan Webb. Hey, pitchers in the booth, you win today. 51% of the pie. Logan Webb is your YouTube player of the game for his dominant performance for San Francisco. He was the stopper of the streak. Much more on the postgame show coming up.
He just smokes it.
Forget about it.
Oh, my goodness. Great baseball right there.
And that one's gonna go.
That ball was crushed.
And this is gonna do it. Oh my.
Strike three. That was a great play. I talked about his fielding skills. That was remarkable. Something like this is what they came for.
Back in the booth, it's the postgame show presented by State Farm. This was a fun one. It was tight. The Brewers and the Giants locked in one apiece for quite a while, and then the Giants put up 4 runs in the 8th inning, 1 on an RBI double for Darren Ruff. We'll show you it all in just a few, and then a 3-run shot for Tyro Estrada. Here's some math for you. Ready for this, Dilly? So the Giants put together 4 runs in that 8th. You go back to the previous, how many is it? Let's see. 6 runs in the previous 44 innings. So the offense had been a bit chilly, a bit cold, and that's the turnaround that they're looking for.
I mean, that was the culmination of the whole thing. I mean, the game being so much tension. You could cut it with a knife, and you kind of wanted it to last, but it was a culmination of the Giants coming out. Finally, some of those good at-bats paying off. It's disappointing that Devin Williams had to be on the receiving end of that. He's been so good for so long, pitcher of the month in August, but that's kind of what it comes down to. It's hard to hold good teams at bay for long. We've seen the Brewers do it. I know the Giants are doing it, and they did it today.
You know what I was laughing at? Logan Webb said playoff feel, and we've heard that from a few players this week. I'm going, you haven't pitched at the playoffs yet.
Well, if he did, this is what it would feel like.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more at stake in the playoffs. But speaking of the playoffs, this team inevitably will be a playoff team. Now, are they going to play a one-game play-in game, a winner-take-all, or are they going to have to play? Or are they going to get to play 5 games? The way the Dodgers are playing right now, it's going to be tough to win this division. And so now your look ahead is like try to get as healthy as you can. And who's going to pitch that one game? And he's making a case right now to be that guy.
Might even be a little piggyback action with the Gossman and Logan Webb if it ends up being a wild card. But they'd love to just win the division. They have the same record as the Dodgers. They were a half game back heading into today, but the Giants win, and here's how it happened. We begin with Austin Slater. Last night 0 for 3 with a walk, and this time first pitch going after it, deep center field, and forget about it. Austin Slater muscles up, and the Giants are on the board with 1 pitch. It's their first lead of the series, making 1-0 on his 10th of the season. Bradley strikes out. It's been a tough season for him at the plate, and Webb has K number 3.
That's a pretty good one.
Sean will answer later because Logan Webb is oh so economical this afternoon. Now 9 up, 9 down. And Wong is down on strikes. Logan Webb's 5th punch out already this afternoon. Amy G, Logan Webb is looking good. Arias into the corner, and that is going to punch off the wall and turn into a stand-up double. A 1-out double for Arias. Arias and Yelich are on for Garcia. 2-2 on its way. Got him. 6 strikeouts already for Logan Webb. On to Jace Peterson. Clutch City last night as well. 2-out, 2-strike RBI single made it 3-2. That was the go-ahead run. Just lofts one into shallow center. It's going to drop, and Arias is on his way home. The throw's going to catch Yelich in between second and third, but the Brewers do get a run. Yelich still on the run. Crawford is going to make the tag for the out to end the inning, but the Brewers get their first run of the day. Jace Peterson, a little bloop RBI knock, and scores Arias. 1 per side now as Logan Webb is shaking his head and saying a few things that might not be safe for YouTube.
The pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. He struck him out with a changeup. Second time that he has punched out Jackie Bradley Jr. 7 strikeouts now in 4 2/3 innings recorded by Logan Webb.
Haley clocks one to left field, and he finds some open space. He's going to truck to second. Luke Maile sends a ball all the way into the left field corner. It's a 2-out double here in the 5th. Frozen make it. 8 strikeouts this afternoon for Mr. Webb. Trying to wipe away this losing skid for the Giants. On to the 7th we go, and Daniel Vogelback into the corner. Good piece of that one, but do not test that arm of Austin Slater. Do not test that arm of Austin Slater. Uh-oh, Daly, he did it.
He went for it. I mean, he put his head down and ran. I think he kind of cooled off the jets around halfway to second base, but in that moment right there, he's trying to make something happen, but sometimes it's better to play it safe.
I know it's been a slump over the past couple weeks for the Giants defense, but mostly on the season, they've been great. And here's Tyler Rogers out of the bullpen, striking out the side.
Yeah, you talked about he's not really a strikeout guy, and he hasn't been all year long. He can get you a strikeout every once in a while, but he's more of a pitch-to-contact ground ball guy, but had an unbelievable 3 strikeout inning performance today.
And Devin Williams, this is rare, did not have it. Chris Bryant is going to come on down on the Darren Ruff double to grab the lead for San Francisco, and then eventually Thairo Estrada. See ya! That's for 3.
And that allowed Giant fans to exhale a little bit more because now they had a 4-run lead going into the 9th inning instead of just the 1-run lead.
And in that 9th, Mauricio Dubon was just called up today. Wilmer Flores to the injured list, and Dubon says, "Look at me, I can fly."
Took a little interesting route to the ball, more of a banana route, but he was he was able to close the gap with his athleticism.
We thought Willy Adames had a home run. That was the call. It was overturned. Then the at-bat continues, and he bounces out to who else but Thairo Estrada, and the Giants pick up the W. What a game today for us on YouTube. Giants 5, Brewers 1. Both teams are just awesome, though. These are 3 of the top teams in the National League. It's Brewers, Giants, and Dodgers getting it done all season long. We've got more for you on the Postgame Show presented by State Farm. Another interview coming your way with Amy G checking in just a moment.
There's a base hit. Wong slaps one to left. Here comes Kane. Aquino's thrown to the plate, and Kane is in there. RBI single. Colton Wong. It is 4-2 Cincinnati. Wong sends it deep to right, and she's gone. Colton Wong, 2-run home run. Add-on runs for the Brewers in the bottom of the 8th. It is 7-4 now.
My goodness, how big is that? Boy, he's come up with some huge hits and big home runs.
2-out, 2-run home run. Colton Wong with 3 RBIs in his last 2 at-bats.
Wong now top of the order. He has struck out twice in this one. And this will line down the right field line. And it's going to play to run for Milwaukee. 2 runs come home.
It took a while for the Brewers bats to get going in this series, but here they are. That was a changeup first pitch. And Colton able to wait back. That pitch was up down the middle and smokes it down the right field line.
Life-sized Connect 4. It's all going down on the field at Oracle Park after this one, but it was a show during the game. Giants 5, Brewers 1. That's your final score. Darren Ruff actually had the game-winning shot. It was a double to make it 2-1, and they end up tacking on 3 more thanks to Thairo Estrada. So we heard from Logan Webb. Let's hear what Darren Ruff had to say with Amy G.
I have one of the heroes from today's game, and that's the offense, Darren, that Giants fans have come to know and love this season. We have a lot to break down. Let's just start with the 8th inning, because you were responsible for the go-ahead run, 2 outs, an RBI double from you, and the Brewers pitching staff is so stellar. How are you able to get to Devin Williams? Take us through that AB.
Yeah, obviously Chris and Brandon working great at bats before me. And then just, knowing his best pitch is just change up, he'd probably go to it. And, luckily I was able to keep it fair down the line. Yeah, I mean, that you just, in that situation, try to look for what that the pitcher is going to go to in that situation. And, yeah, like I said, was able to stay inside of it, keep it fair, and credit to Brandon and Chris before me, and then Thairo having a great at-bat, because those insurance runs are always huge.
And it hasn't been very often this season that the offense has cooled off, and it has the last few games. So when you have innings like that, and pitching's so contagious, do you feel like you get back on track a little bit?
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, we luckily have not really struggled as much as we have this little stretch all year. So hopefully we can get back on track. We'll have an awesome series this weekend, and yeah, it'll be fun to get the offense rolling again.
Big series coming in, but let's talk about Logan Webb. And I'm so glad I'm doing the interview with you because you have a lot of perspective in this game. You've been around long enough to know the ebbs and the flows. And Logan's kind of just learning that, but everyone has commented on his maturation in this game and his confidence in this game, and he had a lot of pressure on him today to be the stopper and stop this skid that you guys were in. Just your thoughts on where he's at in his career, how impressive he was today, how impressive he's been this season.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I have the right words to say, you know, how important Logan has been over the last couple months to this team and even earlier, but I just remember going back to spring training how everyone was commenting on how great he looked. And I feel like early on in the season, he might have been putting a little too much pressure on himself to go out there, and then, you know, dealt with some arm issues, got himself right, and boy, has he been amazing for us over the last couple months. Just seeing, you know, getting able to watch some of the games on TV if I'm not starting, that the movement on his pitches, his two-seam, his changeup, and his slider are, you know, three really, really good pitches. So
he has stepped up big time. All right, last question for you. You can't make it any more dramatic, Darren. It doesn't happen. So you guys were out of first place for about 17 hours. Dodgers come in, and you are tied for first place against your NL West foes. Kapler said something interesting today. He said there's a sense of urgency, but there's no need to panic. And you guys have done a really good job of that. But we're in September, and the number of games you have left are, you know, they're limiting each time you play a game. So how do you do that? How do you navigate between urgency and panic?
Well, knowing that, yeah, these 3 games are important, but knowing, like you said, we have, I don't know, 20 some left after that too as well. But obviously we want to play really well, be really, really competitive, make the plays we're supposed to, have great at bats, just play solid baseball. And I think if we play solid baseball, play fundamentally sound, have quality at bats, we're an amazing team, and that's all you can ask, no matter who you're playing. So
you make it sound really easy.
No, it's not easy to do that.
I know it's not easy.
That's what you have to do.
I know. Darren Ruff, congratulations on today's win, and thanks for your time.
We appreciate it. Thank you, Amy G. and Darren Ruff. Sports Gaming Universe said it, not me. Not often Williams gets roughed up like that. How do you do? Your thoughts?
Oh, on the pun?
Yeah.
That's a great pun.
It's good?
Yeah, it's unfortunate because you start looking at, you know, how that came about, but that's what it came down to, is going, okay, I'm going to look for a pitch. And I thought that was a great comment. He was just surprised he was able to keep it fair.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was really the difference maker in this game that led to everything else.
And we also were entertained by Rowdy Tellez all day long. Rowdy, take it away.
Hey, does anybody want to be friends with me today? Anybody? Anybody want to be friends with me today? Just because I don't? Yeah. Hey, just because I got a microphone don't mean we can't be friends. Get your hugs, little baby. Come on,
Fail. 1 2 1 2. Check.
I think Brandon Crawford has one of the best cleat games in baseball. Dude, his the City Connect jerseys, sick paint job on the cleats. Had like the Golden Gate Bridge, like it was pretty sick, yeah. And then his ones last night were made by Nike because like All-Star games and stuff. You get a certain amount of All-Star games, I guess Nike makes them for you. But we win a couple World Series, a bunch of gold gloves, you know. See, I told you, check out his cleats, dude. He's got a good cleat game. I told him that on first yesterday. I said, dude, I mean, you don't have to be humble or nothing, but like, you got to have top 5 cleat game in the game, right? He was like, I like to think so. Dude, his City Connect ones were painted on, and he said, I think it's Souls by Sir. That's free marketing for Souls by Sir, if you get that on the mic. Those were sick. Sick. Well, Kane, got 1 World Series ring, 2 homers. You coming out in the 4th?
Yeah, you got
third. I lied, 3rd.
Once you put that time in,
okay.
Can I ask you, how the hell you get mic'd up out of all people?
They said because.
What the hell? What you got, a half a year in the show and you mic'd up?
3. Let's get
3
this
years?
right.
Sorry.
Let's get this right.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, well, dude, this isn't 1937 anymore when you debuted, all right,
you
dude?
trying to say I'm old
So relax.
Now you're trying to say I'm old.
Hey, man. Casey got my good years, but
let me tell y'all something.
Milwaukee showed me love.
What a camera at? What camera we looking at?
I don't know, man. We just got a microphone on.
Just let them know.
There's a bunch of people up there, though.
Hey, let them know KC got my good years.
I don't know. I seen you lean on some stuff, man. I saw some good years that's coming out.
But Milwaukee showed that love.
Yeah, but hey.
Let them know.
We got our mic today. Hey, Lolo, watch out.
I already told them. Dude, Willie gets mic'd and doesn't tell nobody, and then tries to sneak attack some stuff. Shut up, Willie.
They put that thing there.
Willie, shut up. Dude, I liked you when you were young.
Don't change, dog.
I liked you when you were young. Where's the Tigers? I liked you.
It's my birthday.
It's Willie's birthday.
Where's the camera?
I don't know what camera we're looking at, but
Maybe over there.
probably up there.
Hey, it's my birthday today,
It's
dog.
his birthday, so.
Thank you.
Feliz cumpleaños, Sati.
What a sweet ending. And they finally found the camera after all that. At the buzzer. Consecutive starts allowing 2 runs or less. Logan Webb, you're almost there. This guy did it in 1916 and 17. I wasn't calling these games. I debuted a few years later. Longest by a Giant since 1900. 13-1 during that streak. Ferdy Shoop is the name.
I can't say I've ever heard of him, but it's a great name. It's a really good name.
Ferdy Shoop. I'm just hearing that. Too bad I already got 3 kids. You know, that'd have been a great name to pull out of the hat
That's
right
a
there.
classic.
Ferdy, yeah.
He was born in 1891.
Played 1916/17. Had to be in New York Giants.
Mm-hmm.
So San Francisco Giant era, Logan Webb now has the record for most consecutive games with 2 runs or less. And then you saw the guy right behind him was Kevin Gausman. He did it this year. That shows you how impressive those 2 guys have been at different times this year. And Logan's not finished.
And it helps to have a guy, too, that is along for the ride with you. You look at the Brewers staff, you look at those 3 top pitchers in Woodruff, Burns, and Peralta, and they're kind of going through the story together. And you need that. You need that from pitchers that have been there. Johnny Cueto's been there, and so he's an integral part of what the Giants got going on. But it's always good to have somebody alongside you for that ride.
Peralta's back tomorrow. He's starting for Milwaukee, coming off the injured list. He had a little shoulder issue and a little bit of news post-game that we heard from Craig Counsell. He said that Avisail Garcia was removed from this game. It's precautionary, but some back and hamstring tightness. So it's that time of year where Milwaukee is somewhat in cruise control, Dilly, so you want to make sure that you are at full strength come October because they're sitting pretty in the division.
They are, and they have this room to kind of be patient with guys and make sure they're completely healthy before they start running them back out there for that final deep plunge going into the playoffs. So smart move there. He's played almost in more games than anyone else for the Milwaukee Brewers, so to get him some rest, it's a good thing.
We actually are going to go on the field after this and play some games. I mean, there's table Jenga, there's life-size Connect 4. This looks like a good time, Sean.
Bags.
Do they do this after all the games?
I'll take in bags.
Cornhole. Cornhole for sure.
It's that, and then, of course, the Seagulls taking over right now at Oracle Park. But truly, this was a fun one. I also just want to give a special shout-out to our producer, Michael Trainer, and his wife, Alexis. They welcomed a baby girl born August 22nd, Aubrey Addison Trainer. Welcome to the world. Aubrey, we actually share a birthday, August 22nd. You're a Leo. You might not comprehend or know that yet, but you will eventually. Mike, we will see you back on the road next week. We miss you, buddy. This was an absolute blast. Thank you, guys. We appreciate everyone watching worldwide on YouTube, and we do this every week on YouTube globally. This one is a final. The Brewers fall to the Giants. They do take the series, though, and the MLB Game of the Week live on YouTube is going to swing back on Wednesday, September 8th. 2 more playoff hopefuls. We have the first-place Astros in the AL West hosting a pesky division rival, the Seattle Mariners. Our pregame show will start rolling at 1:30 Eastern next week. For the greats today, Tim Dillard, Sean Estes, Amy G, our entire superstar crew out west. I'm Scott Braun, logging out for now. Great one today. See you next time on YouTube.